Chapter. The first you are for an interview. Yes, Marina. Rebrova, woman dressed in strict white button-neck blouse and black skirt up to knee, looks at me with interest and then he checks against the list. You definitely have 25. Yes, I'm 25. Well, pass, sit down. HR officer points to Bolshoi Kozani sofa where 3 girls are already sitting. I mechanically Slava, and lowering his head down, I go to them, sit down from the very edge and embraces. My phone is beeping with an incoming message. Exactly a minute later, I shudder, noticing the stern gaze of a Cerberus woman who I was met by. Sorry, Mormo, and I turn it off. Sound on the phone. This is my sister writing to me. She worries a lot about me. How is it? Tell me. There's nothing to tell. I'm sitting waiting. Interview tear up there. Comes me encouraging SM. I stealthily looking at other girls, beautiful and dressed stylish, and I have a SOSO style. It turns out to look businesslike and at the same time the bun on the head is terrible, but there is no other way to lay it. My naturally curly hair just impossible. I found your boss online. He is one of the 100 richest people. Countries you represent. You are simply obliged. Get to him. She thinks it's so. Just 2 girls flew out of the waiting room without spending in the office of the general and minutes, but they were replaced by 3 more. Then the closer I am to the interview, the stronger I am. I want to run away from here. Oh, Onyami, for sure. They won't take. Everyone here is so glamorous. Stupid idea. Sister writes something in Messenger, but I don't have time to read it. The main thing is that I call my name by the frames. Harshly. Jump up, smile. Oh, I'm definitely in vain. I need to come here as soon as possible and forget my father. Like a bad dream, I put my phone in jacket pocket and step over from the panoramic windows. Beats sharp light. I squint, and when again I open my eyes, I see a man sitting behind table. God, I'm like him for all my. A man has never seen a short life. As if Sol and Katia are fashionable. Log. With Ka unshaven and transparent gray. Eyes that are tanned and dark. Hair look especially expressive. So much that the breath is lost. A big boss of 100 rich people. He looks at me attentively, as if undresses and feels with a glance, and then suddenly asks, Virgin. I am speechless and clap eyelashes. Wow, questions flashing was heard. Well, it can't be in fact, a billionaire to ask. Am I a virgin? What, forgive me. I speak indistinctly, or you have hearing problems? Coldly asks. General, I don't have hearing problems. But apparently there are problems with getting into the awkward situations and how I should answer. You asked if I had. Yes, and what, don't you remember or what? Mocking asks the boss. It has. Meaning angry. Daka. A dozen of previous girls calmly and honestly answered the question I asked. And almost immediately left the office of delay. Conclusions, whether it is important or not. Yourself or you. Waiting for me to start in front of you. Explain. No, now I also stutter. Started a great start to the interview. Then answer yes, I throw it sharply and tighter. I squeeze the folder in my hands. Come in, sit down. The billionaire nods to the chair next to my desk. I come up and sit on it. I try not to watch. I hope my red cheeks don't glow like traffic lights, because that I feel very much now. Awkward. I'm ready to hire you. The answer amazes. With the contract. It is. He hands me a dozen sheets and looks at me carefully. From the main, I will need confirmation that you are a virgin. That, forgive me, I'm just stuck. As if. Ask again, and I apologize. I apologize for sure. She will think that I am blunt and a certificate of that you don't have hearing problems. Adds you several times. Asks me again what I said. Phew, it's time. To end this circus I get out of my stupor. Instantly it happens to me. I can mumble for a long time, but if I have something will touch the core. Flares up, and now that he is himself allows for confirmation at all. Asks again, it's what they are. You're not my type. Calmly he mints certificates from the doctor. The contacts of the clinic will be enough for you. Will be provided at the exit from the office. Certificate means nod, understanding. I do. Take a deep breath now. At least I will be able to explain to my loved ones that I was not accepted, not because of incompetence and inability to keep his mouth shut, and therefore that the boss is rich, of course, before impossibly beautiful and self-confident. Give him a certificate from clinic and not some kind of virgin idiot. I note that the certificate only from the clinic contacts that you have will be provided at the exit. I remember. You know about possible hearing problems. That Danilo Romanovich, his name I know at least. I don't remember the general. When I read to whom I get a job. Danny thought to work more. Romanov is the law of being rich in general. And also to have such a beautiful name, and he. What a goat turns out to be just for me. Such work does not suit his face. Stretches the gaze, gets cold, beautiful. Gray eyes instantly become on the a few shades darker. Now you can compare not with the morning fog envelop, but rather with a storm cloud. Pova e. What is the head? The second while I'm driving home I'm twisting in my head. Past meeting, and I start slowly to doubt the correctness of your decision to leave, slamming the door for us, after all. Sonia and her unborn daughter very. You need money and the salary of the turbine. They promised a good one for as much as 50 barrio then. Me. Several people died in a car accident. Years ago they were barely 18 then. It's also good that otherwise I would be young. At that time, he worked in a small company, would not have given custody of her and the brother. He survived from the apartment before us. To shoot for him, there is no hope for us now. There is no one to help. Anya recently went on maternity leave. And we began to live on my salary alone for the next 2 months. We have paid, but maternity leave will not be enough for a long time. Only devoted babe buy for an apartment. How to continue to pay, and diapers are not. Did I get too excited? Well, what did it cost me? Bite your tongue and agree for 3 minutes. Disgrace to the doctor and a large salary in pocket. I go home with a guilty look. My sister understands from the threshold what happened. Well, nothing, Marinka hugs, she. Me. Indentations, we will cope with it. I will knit. I'll take more orders, I can't stand it. In a slip, burying his sister in the shoulder so. Horror becomes ashamed of Agnieszka. It's just all my cursed temper. Anya is to blame, I'm such a selfish person. Turbin demanded to bring a certificate stating that I am a virgin, and I insulted with and gone. Forgive me, dear O'Marin. Sighs Anya, are you my message? I didn't read the last one. I'm there for you. I wrote about him on the network, about him. I read about him, everyone knows about him. Says my sister, tearing me away from my shoulder. Not. I didn't have time to shake my head, convincing my sister that I didn't know my word of honor even for persuasiveness. I reach into the bag for I'll tell you better by phone. She stops me. This billionaire hires only married women with children or virgins older than DP point. He has this type of them work well and are not distracted by nonsense. He fights again. I can still get married women with children. Understand why a 20-year-old Virgin, well, crumpled sister, he thinks. That they are blue stockings once before. Age did not bother to find for themselves. Mun, well, don't you think, I'm not in his opinion. I share it, my sister is guilty, she lowers her gaze. A snort and I go into the room, oh you think. I didn't have anyone, I didn't have a bit. It's just a shame, there's nothing wrong with it. I haven't met the one I'll look for yet. Normal employer, I leave Anya on the. We will break through, I know that my sister. A duck rolls over behind me, it's a pity. Her child's father abandoned them and who? He Anya doesn't tell, and I don't ask. Because when she remembers him. At first, her gaze sparkles with happiness, and then she starts crying, I don't want her. Upset therefore to the topic of the unsuccessful interview we did not. We return but the closer the night. The more clearly I understand the second such. I can't find a job and I'm around full. Freaked out and maybe there is a chance to pass. Interview once again can turban me. I didn't remember well, if I remembered, maybe. Will accept an apology, I will bring him this. There are 2 stupid certificates, that is, about the servants. Yet. I must have seen a frowning face in the morning. Sisters, I think again about the fact that I got excited. And while Anya flutters around me to finish frying cheesecakes and puts a cup of coffee browsing vacancies nothing. Absolutely nothing although there is no work much. A variety of people really pay at the best. A few thousand more than I did. I get now my pennies will only be enough. For rent, utility bills and food. It's okay for 2, but we'll be there soon. 3 and we'll give birth. The Yuvotrat will become bigger, it's still good. If she feeds herself and if not. 1 jar of a mixture of some gold. Money costs me recently in the store. Look delicious, asks Anya looking on me with a smile she is very much with me. The real mistress has no idea what. I would probably make them store-bought without it. I ate dumplings to cook I know how to cook but when I come back from work I want. We used to share a little rest. Duties and now Anya and cooking and I took care of the cleaning. I am ashamed in front of my sister for my stubbornness. Harshly. Slamming and suddenly they haven't found it yet. A virgin or a married woman with many children. Mother on this free post. Chapter. The 3rd huge holding turbine. Meets me coldly at the entrance almost. Presses me with the door and I don't get into the elevator. Because as soon as I enter the cabin filled with people begins. Squeak overload notification. I have to go out and wait for the next one. I go out on the floor I need, translate at the door spirit and sharply pull the heavy canvas. On myself since yesterday here is almost. Nothing has changed, the same girls on. Sofa. With suspicion only light a little more. Brighter than yesterday, although maybe it's me. It just seems hello you seem to be too. We have already come, interested. HR officer girls sitting on the couch. Instantly turn to me and look at me. Curiosity yes, but I need one more time. Talk to Danila. Romanovich frowns. Woman, what to add to yesterday's conversation, please, the HR manager clatters. But fulfills my request, goes to door and waited until he came out of there. The girl comes into the office, in fact, I hoped that I would be able to see directly with Turbine and for some reason did not take into account that one at all. The fact that he can refuse to see me. The woman does not leave the office for several minutes that seem like an eternity to me. Girls look at me differently. Someone with interest, someone with hatred, and someone condescendingly clearly does not care about them. The fact that a candidate came who was here yesterday Competitor, I'm starting to regret that I came. Here what I expect that the participant. Forbes will forgive me not at all. Polite, fuck your ass lord. What a fool I am going to turn around and leave as soon as possible before you have to blush for yesterday's act, but at this moment the HR manager leaves the office and I'm postponing the escape. Sit down. She points to Daniel's sofa. Romanovich will call you. I nod and quickly I so to the sofa, sit down from the edge and begins. The girls are replaced by endless waiting. At first I take one another. Count the number of candidates, but then I knock down and I walk back and forth in the waiting room, and then I appeal directly to HR, and maybe Danila Romanovich forgot about me. He never forgets about the World Cup, she retorts. Calling another girl is very bad. The bad news is a probable ass kick. He won't forget even if he accepts mine apologies. Where is the guarantee that he will agree? Hire me. Why does he need a hot-tempered fool who does not know how to? Critical situation, keep your mouth shut. Teeth. I continue to leave in the waiting room. Back and forth, wondering if I have chance, perhaps, if I'm very polite. I will apologize and explain my hopeless that I'm no one of the girls here. I didn't get a piece of paper with the name of the clinic. The personnel officer looks at. I condemn her with my walking. Annoying, and at some point she doesn't withstands getting up, waiting until from Kane another girl comes in after her. It comes out, however, just as quickly, invites next candidate and cuts me off. Sit down. Danila Romanovich remembers you and will call you. Of course he remembers because he has memory. Good, he does not forget the instructions. I perform. Sitting down cancelled the reception of all potential candidates and accepted outside the queue that I sent directly yesterday. His stupidity on my part was yesterday. Open your mouth and today come here. That's all. Despair. I looked at the upset my sister's eyes, made up my mind. I could not go to try my luck to let Anya down, who tried for us with all her might. She had hoped for this work. 50 on the road is not Vani. With he comes in too much before the HR manager, smiling. Other candidates begin to replay. I am dissatisfied and I sit on pins and needles. If now it turns out that he took another door of the general's office. The bullet swings open at the beginning of there. The girl flies out at none of us. Stares, rushes to the exit in a moment. At the door. Shows. It seems to be scanning the dark one with of yesterday's message of my eye, and the colors of the stormy sky remained with him. The drops did not brighten. I swallow it. Now I'm furious and dissatisfied. Everyone is out there. The HR officer is struck menacingly, in shock. Rounds the eyes. The girls quickly get up and I follow them away from Sin. Now I've definitely done everything that was in my power. You remain too. I am alive in my office. Chapter. The fourth. Knees are shaking and so are the hands. Turban is so beautiful and terrible in anger. Like the demons of hell, but to listen to such a thing. It is impossible to step into the office as if to be executed. I can't even imagine why you came, and what do you plan to do if you are going to apologize by presenting one's own virginity? Then you don't have to try. The general ego says mockingly. Instantly Kiva himself is priced. What a bastard he is. Still, I just want to weigh it to him. Slap the slap to leave a red mark on his cheek, but fortunately today I come to the meeting prepared. I remember my sister and my niece, therefore swallowed, looking into the eyes of the general. You are right, Danila Romanovich, I have come Ask for forgiveness, but not for your words, but for thinking badly of you. It's my fault that I did not find out your requirements. Interview and decided that you interested in my innocence for some personal or even worse mercenary goals. We came up with this legend together with my sister so that I don't look irascibility spirit and wedge into it. Turbines. Bravo. Rebrova, lazily clapping. Billionaire in your hands fantasy you have. Works great personal goals these are. I understand, but what kind of self-interest should I? In your opinion, it was to receive from your virginity. Well, I read about closed. I don't have time to agree on auctions. Danila Romanovich laughs offensively in this. To his laughter I can hear you at auction. Yes, you are worth 3 kopecks. I feel like tears come to my eyes and bite cheek. Calmly, calmly, all for the sake of Anya and babies in the end. The sister claimed that such auctions definitely exist. It is about them. I heard it, and it seems that they even had it at work. There was a girl who participated in this. Well, let's say OTS. Says Turbines. We found out that there was a misunderstanding, and suppose I even accepted your apology, but what do you expect from me? Do you really think that I will hire such an employee to hire Dada? I know I wouldn't take it either, especially given that I did not send him because of the auction. Lord, I don't even care about it. I knew it, my brain and my head found it. Plausible reason why I could. His head flared up, just hoping a little. I really need this job, not try to pity me, cut me off. General, especially since that vacancy has already. No, there was a well-mannered innocent girl. I'm upset, sighing, it's all gone. Only the place of a personal assistant with living in my house. There is a higher salary, but also others requirements. Truth, you and I know that it doesn't suit you. So before Rebrov's rendezvous, I don't detain. The Turbines turns away and goes to his desk. Imposingly sits down in the chair, losing to me. I turn away from every interest, that not to stare at him so frankly, not. It was enough for him to think that I was his. I look at it, but God, did he really say that? That I ears in the right with him problems, or I just hallucinations? I raise my head and look at Turbine incredulously. Oh, in vain now again. He will say about bad hearing, but I can't believe my ears. I was going to get a job as a personal courier for me. They explained that such people are required by the rich snob for delivering gifts and secret important people, but an assistant with living. The salary is more than this. There were definitely vacancies in the ad. I considered it because I probably did it with work. I'm not a fool, and I've graduated from university or with diploma with honors, but what are the others? Responsibilities, and is it possible to take my sister with me to take him to the house, and what if he had staff a separate outbuilding? It happens. Oh God, what to do, how to tell him that I agree, Lord, yes, for such a sake. I am ready to work a whole medical commission pass in the end attempt. Not torture. If something happens, I won't see him. I never dare to turn to the Turbine face. Danila Romanovich, I agree to any job. Take me, please. For some reason, take the Turbines at this moment. Enough of a carnivore, as if I were said some vulgar stupidity, but I don't care, you won't regret it. I will be the most executive employee. Rebrova, you're just twisting my arms. Says lazily General, I don't. I find words to refuse you, Yali Che. Therefore bring the certificate and we will consider that. You're accepted. The truth is that he's kind of good. Says something that I should like, and for some reason, it seems that in the words turban, there is a mockery and a trick for the last time. Questionably, The housekeeper throws it up and thrusts it into my hands. Hanger with natural outfit. The corset is minimally short. Puffy skirt and stockings. I start again. Doubt that turban is definitely not. Wants to sell my virginity, although in. You really can't sell her suit. Stupid is more like a hair knot. Enough ears for the head and fluffy. Round ponytail at the back, but I. Assistant, you're definitely not mistaken. I'm staring. On the outfit as on a disgusting cockroach. I can't imagine how to take it in my hands. Walk in front of the boss unless. Bend down. I make a note for myself not to drop. Nothing on the floor. No, if I were wrong. Marina Rebrova would not work here. Cleaning assistant, so take your stuff and. Don't take my time. Woman with power. Thrusts a coat rack into my hands with creepy rags and go away with nightmares and look at the house. The turbine seemed decent on the floor of colons. Races in the greenery, all fountain even at the entrance end. A good house for servants, where they settled. Agnieszka and me, but in fact that's what. It turns out to be some kind of den, I hope at least. I won't need to go outside, I don't want to. So that Anya could see me in this outfit. And I take some kind of shame creaking my heart in. I put my hands in uniform and go to change clothes to choose. I don't have to not tear it off again. We just ran over my sister from her place. I liked everything very much and in general. When Turban allowed me to take my sister jumped for joy. She did not share my delight with. I didn't want to move out of the apartment. I tried to defend the opportunity to live alone, but I did her. In the end, she was pregnant. And she needs my help, and if suddenly. What will happen? Suddenly she will feel bad, and I will be busy working on the territory. Home turbine. We won't stay long. We had an apartment. Paid for 2 months, and then that's it, but we agree that only until the end. During this time, we will transport all things. The owner, of course, was dissatisfied with what he. I have to return the money, but there is no way out. I had to. Are you sure that you need to? To move, my sister mumbled non-stop. While I was packing my things, and, well, think for yourself. The conditions there are not bad, you can live, and we. During this time, we will collect part of the money for buying your own apartment. Well, the kid will tolerate. I don't think it will be worse there than here. Worse, and really wasn't our block when we almost saw it. Squeaked in the little backyard where the staff was allowed to walk a corner of paradise for servants. Anya liked. I have a right. We will be satisfied, we will not be satisfied. I pull on my uniform in the mirror even. I'm afraid to watch, it's embarrassing, I'm terrible in life. I didn't wear this as soon as I'm done with vestments in the garb of a depraved maid. The stairs to the wine shop appear. Cellar, she reports a rosary on wood in. Pantry, and don't dare to hack, they're here. Everyone has gone crazy, we are in the Middle Ages. Which pantry, which? TKI. Surely she needs to go through it and not freak out. I already regret that I came at all. Not only that, the boss with a full demand. Only virgins to work and an outfit and pantries, these, what is the point? Such a quest, judging by the number of applicants for a position in the company. Finding an employee is not so easy, there is more. And this is it possible that they do not run from him? Sparkling heels, if I hadn't already run away. Flattering in the pod, I discover that the said housekeeper is not a joke, there really is. Wooden steps leading to the basement, and there is no storage room with inventory, they are still here. All the patients, I hope to the last for a prank, but everything turned out to be true for me. You really have to scrub the stairs. Hands of the XX century in the yard, and the sick billionaire plays medieval sigh. I remember my sister hard and choose a TKU. To hell with him with a pervert, I'm a stump. They are arming it down to the entire front. Work, I go down and start working. Work, dark steps A in wine. Cellar gloomy and cold, I want to hurry up. To get out into the light to people, and I am in a hurry. Rub the product and quickly wash it off. With his wet cloth, water in a bucket, truth. I have to change the TRU several times. Ugly steps, kneeling with. With anger I run my brush over the wood. I curse my life for my stupidity, nothing. Noticing around to the top step. I get there in 40 minutes, I look back. Evaluate the work of my hands and notice that the second wooden canvas from the top shines. Foam infection, grabbing a rag, bending over. To remove it, and here it is nowhere. Marina, a voice is heard above me. General, I in a moment. Their faces jump involuntarily, and in the throat. Dries up instantly, so don't swallow the costume this stupid like that. Maybe liked by someone or him. Is a pleasure to watch. Real on all fours. Virgins, why it is not good. I swagger so that Turban does not notice my embarrassment, yes, because it's still hackwork. You can't do it well with your hands with brushes. Aren't there special vacuum cleaners for washing? Something very important, and wood is capricious and it is cleaned only with such brushes with soft borsova. I will have to wash everything again, or maybe even not alone. That's how I sigh, realizing that clean this ladder for me until the evening as Cinderella, only she did not have such stupid like this. I'm in his eyes. Shamelessly I see that he saw everything perfectly. Maybe he had time to consider, who knows. How long did he stand here while I was piling on stairs? You like this kind of work? Marina, yes, he's kidding, I like lying impudently and look into the eyes. General, with a dream job challenge. Turban is grinning knowingly, glad that you pleased, but I have to go to you. Sentence, says unexpectedly, if not want to spend the whole day on your knees. I will have to agree to play the role of mine. The fiancé's payment is many times more than what I suggest you for the stairs. Well, so I agree, that's what I understand. Rapid career growth, so you are specially from. I raise my voice of indignation. I put you in. Humiliating, my proposal seemed even more tempting to you. Yes, in general, I don't. Embarrassed by his meanness, he confesses. Turbines, for no reason I speak proudly and I turn away. I'm going to change the water and flush that damn ladder again as. And he ordered, well, as you know, it's heard in my back just now to me. Friends will come to visit, and they will definitely. They will want to go down for wine, and then go up and then go down again. And they hear the bell. I am for a moment. I imagine this picture and drop it. Bucket, no, this is already beyond my strength to crowd men who will walk back and forth. I definitely can't stand it by me. I turn back to face the tyrant. True, I don't look in the eyes, it's embarrassing that. Cowardly, okay, I agree, but if the role of your fiancé does not include intimacy. I speak quietly, but he hears. A good girl, it seems to me that the voice is a turbine. Sounds a couple of tones lower, and from this goosebumps run down your spine. You can go change clothes and then study of the contract. He is waiting for you in the locker room. Let's discuss tomorrow. Oh, what was it, just me? I don't understand Ir ton, and why is he from me? Wants wood. Chapter 6. Daniela. Turban, I follow the appetizing rear with my eyes. My new employee, and catch myself on the I don't need thoughts. I don't need a relationship, especially a real wife. Only fictitious Marina Rebrova to me. This position is not suitable at all. Too daring and the tongue sharp, she can. I don't have any other candidates. Those who came by the ad come up even more. Less greedy shines in their eyes. Excitement and a desire to get into my pants, and Rebrova does not radiate such interest. Absolutely what is beneficial from the rest. And she is also dependent on her. There is a pregnant sister and therefore Rebrova is in a difficult material situation. Position excellent pressure levers. Who will help her sign a contract? Podp. As soon as possible, because time is running out. On New Year's Eve, all relatives and adored mom will discover the loss. Damn bottles of wine that I lost in Irvine, who knew what was in it? Surely sour old drinks. Hidden diamonds, whoever comes to mind. They should be pushed there, but it turns out that they are right. My grandmother, who came up with such an idea. To hide the treasure from the communists. In the revolution, I will knock on the head and punish. To pass on this rarity to descendants from generations, after all, about diamonds didn't say a word to anyone. There was a bottle with which only the dust was wiped off on the shelf like a family dust. A relic, and no one touched her, and I bet because no one thought. It will not remember. This is what came out for 2 weeks. Mother Donya calls me back from Paris. Son, what am I going to tell you now? You'll be stunned. Speaks breathlessly. I honestly. I thought she would say that she would marry again. Marries some beggar. Of the artist I didn't guess. Come on, Bern, I'm sitting down. I answer on the go, not expecting to hear. Nothing interesting. My relatives found me. Grandmother, well, your great-grandmother, who are for. During the revolution, they fled and imagine that you remember with us. A bottle of old wine is stored in the cellar. Mat so dark. Well, I remember, I say, and you. Of the premonition itself. Crept in that there is such a sediment that it is already about. The wall breaks if you shake it like this. Not a sediment, son, it's a bag of diamonds. Here I am. Freaking out. And why they were silent before, I can imagine that. This bottle could be broken and slept. Of course, it is unlikely that you can throw it away and drink it. There was such a residue that it was just for us. It was scary to open and throw it away. Probably, my mother hoped that her value will only grow over the years, but smash, yes, it would be better if we smashed it. Honestly, they would have already bathed in wealth, and so what should I do now? The bottle is no longer there, but they recently found it. A letter from our grandmother to her grandmother. Rejoices the sister's mother. They were so in our letter and confessed to what she had done. At first, relatives thought just us. We did not hope to find the bottle on my account, and I'm standing there in wine cellar just next to them. Will not come now. For the new year to you we will inherit. I want to swear to share your mother out loud, but I am restrained to say that lost or crashed is not an option. I can get this bottle back here. I remember that Varver at his wedding promised everyone to ask for it as a wedding gifts. Bark at me, my own bottle, and they will give it to me, so what is my way out? It is right to get married urgently, but not. I really learned the experience of parents with. I don't want a childhood and a real wife, but Barbara's condition, a fictitious marriage does not end. So I need a quiet virgin, which will be without complaint for a whole year, to pretend to be my wife and rejoice. Salary, this is how my search begins. And end with the appearance of the sisters in Mom. House. Danila Romanovich, your friends came and are already waiting in the playroom for drinks and appetizers. They were served dinner as always. Yes. Agnia Leopoldovna, thank you. I go every Wednesday. My friends and I are going to my place for poker. Well, it's time for them to report. My imminent wedding in a month. Sensei anniversary, and there will be a big party here. There I will bring Marina as a brides, and during this time let everyone will get used to the idea that I'm getting married and I'm like once ribbed good otter. Gray head. 7th, and where do we ask, sister? Looking at how I dumped my clothes into the suitcases, the sun had barely risen and I began to gather all night is not an eye. Closed, so nervous, and the clothes in the suitcase won't fit if it's just like that. Throw away, I answer with irritation. Quieter than what, it turned on so because of the contract. There is nothing terrible about it. I'm stopping from the terrible surprises and the point to be silent and to obey. It is not written like this. My sister objected, as if she was going to protect this turbine is important, meaning I don't. I'll be a doll for him. I got a job here. Assistant and not all this. Listen. Anya sits down on the edge of the sofa and takes the hands of the unfortunate. Let's analyze everything point by point, and you will tell me that I don't like me, only HKA, I don't even. I began to read the contract to me therewith. I didn't like the first points. Begin, graciously, I agree, but I continue to pack my things in my suitcase. Supporting the employer at any time. Day, outrageously beloved blouse flies over the side and falls to the floor. I get up in irritation to follow the outside view at the first stage to complete. Item will be provided by the stylist. Mind. His appearance is also incomprehensible. I don't like mine, so there was no need for me. Choose so many beautiful ones in the waiting room. Girls would have taken any of them like that. No, give him the one that is not suitable, or he likes to bully people to write all these contracts. I can imagine how he laughs while makes these points and such fools. How do I then agree? Maybe I'm at all. He is not the first fake bride suddenly. Turbines so amuses himself not to have contact with other men. The item does not include only an intimate connection, but also any other type of interaction, smiles, conversations, hugs, correspondence. We are the Middle Ages. Marina, you are not so terrible. There is nothing terrible in these points are not there. Besides, you even didn't talk to Daniel. Maybe he had them. Cheat, remember what he said to you when I gave the contract to read? Well, here it is. Try to push it through, say that you don't. I agree and explain why only. It's okay, explain, otherwise your current arguments don't fit. I sit down with an exhale on the other side of the bed and I can't frown. Transfer your fortune contract. I glanced at it yesterday as soon as Daniel Romanovich gave it to me. I began to do it. By that time, my sister was already asleep. And I did not wake her up. I decided that the departure. You can postpone it until morning. Here is the morning. It's time for a guest and honor to know. I just don't want to be a fake bride. It doesn't suit me. Understand, he's rich, successful, and I'm you. Look at me, you. The beauty objects to her sister. Yes, this. Everyone will envy the turbine. You look great. Suddenly fictitious. Will grow into the present. Ankatai you. I am such a dreamer. I laugh sadly. But in life it is not like in fairy tales. Don't you know, left you your fight, ma. Anya frowns and throws away the folder. Turns away, and I feel ashamed. Why did I even mention this? I remembered. There also that goat of hers herself. Not his own, walks all the time waiting for him to return. Of course, he objects, says that he is not needed. She needs him, but I know that she doesn't need it so much. How needed she fell in love with him, went to him. All in shine with happiness, and now the likeness. That. Control yourself if you refuse. Ask the turbine, maybe I'll become one. Bride, maybe he needs a set of family. Anya looks at her stomach with a smirk. I would not refuse the one prescribed in the contract amount and bonus in the amount of 50%. From her at the end of the contract. If all the items are properly performed. Chapters become unbearable, and if the words of the sister I didn't want to think about. Talk to Turban, now where? My sister, unlike me, thinks. Rational operation of the turbine is dust-free. Dress nicely and smile at the. For a year with men not. I didn't plan to contact. Somehow all these years I lived without boyfriends, and I will live another one, but at the end of the term contract we will get with my sister such money that it will be possible to buy an apartment. But how much do we need for 3? I'll talk to him, I promise my sister. She nods, and then we both jump from. Unexpected knock on the door. I glance on the unfolded suitcases, and at the speed of their light slamming, the morning turns to both of us. And then focuses his gaze only on the. We can discuss the contract for me. Yes, of course. For a minute I take the folder with contract and leave the house following the boss. He takes me to his office, sits down at a massive wooden table and invites me to the chair opposite. Here. The pen holds out. You are ready to sign? Actually, no. Can I find out why you? I was not satisfied with the amount. There is no amount for me. I would like to discuss the terms. Contract is not discussed. If he conducts things like this, then I don't. I understand where he got the money. He didn't. We break through, although maybe just like that. You need to be stubborn, annoying. Men to achieve the unprecedented. Success means that I am forced to refuse me. It's a pity, but all the points are more like tyranny than on the real conditions of the self. I understand the clause where the ban on communication with the opposite sex, but those moments where it is written about my obedience. The dismissal right was cancelled long ago after his refusal to discuss the terms of the. We have nothing more to talk about, so I am talking. It has become easier even to breathe boldly and freely. After I spoke out, I heard you. Says Turban, do not dare to delay us. Today we will leave your house, not worry my sister, and I have already started to pack things. Did you talk about it? You can stay in my position. Assistant, and your sister will be left with you without. I asked for a suit. In truth, I would agree with the costume. Just not to fulfill these incomprehensible clauses of the contract without it is responsible with. I'm afraid I won't be able to smile all the time. To hold back laughter at the sight of you in it. He. Normal that it was. Did it really bring? I inform my sister that there is no contract. If the work of the assistant remains in force. I was already relieved from my hearts. At least I'm calmer now. I know perfectly well that I need to do everything. I bathe in happiness for a day. In the evening the turbines again cause me in the office. In truth, I'm so tired of emotional swings can even be imagined. It's scary what he'll come up with this time. We'll give you a mermaid costume and make you wash it. Ponytail or put a bag on his head. And send me to the cellar for wine with such a imagination from him will stand in the study. I come in with caution, pass Marina na. Shy invites turbines. I'm closing. Behind me is the door, and I go to the table. Sit down for the second time in a day. Daniel gets up, takes something out of the drawer of the table here. A folder lands on the table in front of me. I said that these are the terms of the contract. That I will not sign. I propose. Read now. I have rewritten the conditions. Very loyal. You just need. Will play the role of my wife on. Throughout the year. Well, loyal. Wow, I rewrote it from hour to hour, not. I clench my teeth more easily. hammer them into my palms and I pretend that my wife is not already freaked out. I clarify Sue with a smirk, not so long ago They talked about the bride, everything changes to me. I need a fictitious wife of course, but marriage should look real. Read Marina's contract. I raised the stakes if. Now he's still putting a tail on me. Mermaid. More than prom words to become a wife and then. That I'm going to sign this contract now. A week later, he rolled out the add-on where. We'll say that I will have to. Get pregnant fictitiously of course and. To give birth is also fictitious. No, I will refuse you. I'm afraid at this rate your sudden changes will come down to reproductions. I'm not ready yet. Child fictitious. Express. Chapter. The 9th Danila. Turbines stop being stubborn. Marin. I speak with difficulty, stretching my lips in a smile. I want to shake it. Well, what? Children, I don't have them at all in the next 10 years. I plan this, by the way, is spelled out in the new. Familiarize yourself with the contract. Please pull a folder to the problematic employee, and she is the same. Does not open, plunges into study, snacks from diligence, and I scold. What the world is worth to myself, how wrong I was with. The choice is still far from the people. Oh, how far away. I sincerely believed that. 25 years and downtrodden creatures with a bunch of complexes and disastrous financial situation. Otherwise, what would be? They were prevented from leading a normal life. But it turns out that I was mistaken. Marina Rebrova Nettie. And not harmless, but financial difficulties. Frightened, but how can you live at all? Together with a pregnant sister for a salary. 100,000. I found out from them never again. It didn't work out in my opinion somewhere beyond human capabilities, and that's where my blunder was. It was possible. Ribs and hire a new girl for the role of the wife, but there is not enough time and my tongue is my enemy. I was a fool yesterday. Hurried and told his friends the name of the bride. And thus reduced the circle of suitable. There are no candidates for any Masha now. Hiring with a barbarian is such an outright fly. Lyosh will not pass. I continue to watch Marina's reaction. It seems that she loses a categorical attitude. After all, is thoughtful, but do not frown. If you have questions, ask. I'll answer. I dare to break through the ground. I'm not really patient person and sit in. I don't like the suspense. Yes, yes, he answers. Marina, looking up at me, let's start with the most important thing is why you need it. I read it and can't find it in your sentence and logic. I can't imagine what reason a person can spend so much money for a fictitious wife who I shouldn't even sleep with him. For some reason, it seems that if I will keep silent, I will put a cross on the contract, and if I voice such as my Rebrova, the reason will seem to let go of what is in our, for a long time, only a means to create maximum comfort. They are a must, an attribute for survival like the poor. You see, there is one valuable item, family heirloom, that I unknowingly I lost to a friend. I decide to be with her. Honest but weighing stupid importance. Bottle by the terms of the dispute, friend vert me in the as a gift for, but only if the marriage is concluded for love and a year. This is a kind of yardstick by which we have designated real-time tested relationships and not fictions, you understand. Let's say. Marina nods. But you are so sure? In my acting talents I am not. I have feelings for you. Look what kind of princess of feelings. She did not love me. Suddenly your friends are not. Believe it was a real relationship with. To fall in love with some girl into herself and living happily is not easier. Cut off. I don't believe in the institution of marriage, and Getting married for real is not at all. I don't need any problems and stranger in the house on a permanent basis. And what will your parents say? Parents' father is busy with children from the third. And the mother was married 10 or 12 times. I lost my way for my ancestor's wedding. In general, nonsense. Okay, Poles. Rebrov, let's say, I understand you with these. But here in the paragraph 51 says that we must create the appearance of a relationship even. Being alone in the house is what it means. That we would have to sleep in the same room. Giving the impression that we have a stormy, intimate life, eyes, ribs, rounded and. She puts her lips together in the letter O, and what are you? You wonder how big entertainers. It is known that even the walls have ears, but you guarantee my inviolability. Incredulously clarifies almost 100% my future wife. I feel that she gives up and presses that you are not in. I lie to my taste without batting an eyelid. She attractive, even very sure, if we'll live side by side for a whole year. We will succeed, and at the end of the period, quietly, peacefully, we will disperse. The main thing is that Marina does not cracked, at least with her character, that is, you will live for a year. Monk themselves said that your friends will follow and look for fictions for the time being. Marina can't believe my nonsense. Mistress will be subject to a contract of absence. Sex will not be difficult, but I say the opposite. I am very discerning in connections, and a year of abstinence for my nonsense. Marina thoughtfully gnaws on my a golden hand, is thinking of something for himself, and finally nods cautiously. Taking my answer correctly, what can understand virgin in libido man? It's okay, I'm quietly glad I got caught. Bird head. 10. I'll take the contract carefully. I ask the turbine after work, I read it. And tomorrow I will give my answer, all your work. For today is a study of the contract here. Take it. Hands me a case with a handle. To immediately sign the SMU of confidence. Turbine, of course not to occupy. Good, I am. I take the contracts of the case with the handle once. My job is to study papers. I go to my sister to do it under her Anya's close attention to me, of course. Waits for me to appear. She immediately notices in my hands the folder you signed. I took it for study. He corrected it. Aga, so. The speed of light changed the bride into his wife. Wife, sister. Whistle doesn't insert agree. Read the contract and agree. We will live like Christ in his bosom, and then the money will remain. I understand all this. I had a desire to confess myself. Sign a contract right in the office, even with all the stupid conditions that I was ready to agree. When I saw the amount on the first page, it is 3 times higher than it was proposed in a previous contract. Bride, but it is clear that the bride is the same. To be honest, I don't believe until the last moment that it will come to the wedding. It seems to me that the turbines he will play for a month or 2 and throw this one away. Idea the contract will be terminated by penalties paid to me and my sister in any of these cases of winning the study of the contract from. It takes me an hour. This option really much more adequate. The previous one, if only because it does not all those Lada conditions. But you can turn a blind eye to them, especially if we take into account the amount that offers turbines for my services. I do not decide. Rush to sign and postpone making a decision before the morning. That's where it comes. The most interesting thing begins. Is not light dawn. My sister and I are getting out of bed. At 7 o'clock sharp, a servant is standing at our door with the requirement to assemble immediately. Turbine, of course not. He gave the house An order to move us out of the house for servants in the rooms in his mansion A. He left himself, after all, his self-confidence knows no boundaries. I haven't answered yet. Consent, and he had already given the order. Of course, we fulfill the requirements of the servants. We pack our bags and set off. View your new place of residence. Yesterday I decided to agree and sign contract until the morning. This decision is not. I'm going to make a deal with the devil. That is, I agree with Turban. I will earn the role of a wife. Money that could be easier after all. So here my sister comes to me so beautifully into the room 10 minutes after we were brought into the house and shown our bedrooms. Not bad, not bad, Marina, not bad. Was in our apartment for huge money, and here divinely we would have never earned money for such a house, but otherwise we'll live here for a whole year. About me, by the way. What is written in the contract for me to reap? Soon Turban won't throw me out the door. Because of the child there is no, it says that you will live here until the end of your term. Action of the contract now. That's lucky. It's good that you went to him for interview, Marina, otherwise we would be sitting in their rooms. Old apartment. How to mice in the holes and Seva on the failed life. I share my sister's delight only partially. Dan to Romanovich. I don't trust him with the Supreme Court so quickly. It changes. I'll be surprised if tonight he will call me back into the office and will provide a new contract. However, if each contract has conditions, better and more salary, I'm ready. Consider options with one. I guessed. Like Daniel Romanovich summons me to office. He comes back late, so when they knock on my room I'm already dressed in pajamas. Have to be poured urgently. Robe on top and open it tightly. Turban looks at me with raised eyebrows. Scanner goes over me from bottom to top and, stopping on his face, he commands to go. Then I grab the one left in advance on bedside table. Contract, handle cases and follow. You signed for? Turban asks. Daniel Romanovich is not in the office again. Not. Then no, I thought I would sign in front of you. Nods well and sits down in the chair. Sign when I bring out my beautiful signature. The heat, frozen for the last of the country, I realize that there is no way back in case of rupture. Contract. I will have to pay a penalty, and there is such money that I have it in. I won't earn my life even if I am work without and rest perfectly. Turbines takes the contract from me and puts his. I can hardly sign. They suppress because I don't know the turbine at all. Maybe he makes money on the invisible girls. Draw up contracts and then makes their existence next to them unbearable, thereby forcing the contract and pay money. Probably this. The thought is somehow reflected on my face, because Daniel suddenly speaks calmly. Marina is not a deal with the devil. Soul you. I don't. I sold my soul, maybe not, but that's all. The rest. Chapter 11. The next day proves that Turban does not lied. Nothing critical is happening. He only takes me to an elite salon beauty and passes it into the hands of stylists. A normal modern girl I am. I take care of myself to the best of my ability and possibilities in the knowledge of all sorts of bells and whistles that appear in the beauty industry, such as eyelash extensions, lip augmentation, eyebrow styling and other things for employees of this salon. Manages to surprise me by full program. My fake fiancé before hiding in an unknown direction immediately after. I am taken to the locker room for customers and the main thing around is only me and a lot of people. Employees in the same form A of visitors, no more souls. Undress completely, Marina says. A girl with the name Zlata embroidered on her chest. Here's my bathrobe and slippers, but I'll take it off first. He died for me in the cabin. Why are they going to do this? But I don't dare to ask, they will think that I am some kind of village, silently undressing, hanging clothes and let myself measure the usual centimeter. It's strange that they weigh me. But the length of the foot was measured. I am surprised, but I put on a robe and go for golden hair everything, and I start half the day I spend with different cosmetologists in one office work with. My Liam does not belong to this VGO. Swearing, refusing to intervene. Only the eyelashes, eyebrows and skin lead to order in another office is engaged. Body wrapping and removing excess hairs with a laser. I also take without spores. Then they feed me lunch and are handed over to manicurists and pedicure girls entertain me. Conversations turn on the TV, but I'm pretty tired of this time and want to home, but who would have let me out so easily? No, then they put me in a chair to hairdresser, and there my miracle happens. Unruly curly hair turns into pure even silk. For this I can forgive absolutely everything, therefore without a murmur. Listening to the color type and shape of the eyes with demonstration of on-off right on me in training time, but it is really useful science. I can hardly recognize myself in the mirror, but and this is still not sun. At the very end of the evening I find out why did they take measurements from me. Purchased a complete wardrobe starting from underwear and finishing with outerwear, clothes and shoes and everything that is obviously expensive. I have no words. I'm even afraid to imagine how many turbines did I spend on that to mold me into this day. A suitable bride for him, but thanks to him, at least I'll know what to strive for and how I can look if I try. Is turbines behind me as early as 8 p.m. I stand surrounded by inconceivable time. The number of branded clothing bags, and there was already a means of care to panic. I begin to sing all this home, and then he enters the door, looks at me from head to toe. I'm in stylish wide black trousers, ankle boots. K2 carry the VS to the car, says employees reap and talk people in the salon. They work very delicately. They are for me all day long. There is not a single unnecessary question asked, but I don't even want to imagine that they are about our relationship with Turban. Think and what they will discuss when we let's leave. Thank you. Staff put on a new one short coat and go out after. For some reason, he goes. Danila Romanovich next to me leads to the car, opens the passenger door of his SUV and leaves me on the seat. Is training to be a fiancé or something. She thinks I'm not wearing heels herself. Climb for now. Fastening, and we are driving out onto the avenue. You'll have to remember a lot. Information, Marina. You should know everything about my childhood, and my family are happy with Boss O. My friends, and about my time habits. We don't have much before the publication. My friend's birthday is coming soon, and there we will appear as the bride and groom, of whom suspicions that there is no love between us. Then perhaps you need to learn mine habits, preferences and life history. I notice, cautiously, I'm afraid to upset you, but loving people demonstrate such knowledge from both sides. Yes means prepare to bring me up to speed, and here's another thing, practice calling me on you and by name. If you knock down today, I will forgive you. From tomorrow onwards, for each of you'll be fine. What else is it? What is the news in? Of course, there was a clause about penalties in the contract. Sanctions, but I don't think it's such a trifle. Fits the concept of sabotage. Chapter 12. And what habits do you have besides losing family heirlooms? About this I wanted to talk to you, Danny Romanovi. Deliberately pauses, silent, so that I. Nurcha M is about this about family heirloom. Maybe he will say not to touch anything in the. And what are such mansions there you look and. Broom may turn out to be what it's all about. I can't stand your wit and what. It should not be like that with him. You suggest that I pretend to be a fool. You don't need to be a fool, after all, I have to. Be an educated wife. I'm probably for those. The days that I spent with Term next to me got used to. I'll give him, but the words are not at all surprising. And if I were not educated, I would see. Your resume. Oh, he's definitely not from the street, He picked me up and thoroughly studied my resume. Before offering to play the role of his wife. So with Daniel's habits, I don't smoke. Sometimes I love poker. That's how you lost a family heirloom. He is pressing lips and I mentally put a note. Smaller. Witty as if he himself. Tact is an unthinkable condition and tries to try me. Of course, I can pretend but. If he wants our relationship to be natural and did not look played. I just need to come to terms with my character. And you ask him what your habits are. I don't smoke indifferently to alcohol very much. I love sweets. I love chocolates, cakes. Cakes, he looks at me skeptically. Like, and where is this good? I'm slim, I'd be. Even said skinny, I don't eat, that's all. But I love it very much. Sometimes I allow myself. Relieve stress in this way. And how much do you have? Time to the moment of acquaintance with your friends for a month, and it's a little bit of me. I thought we had a few days left in such a short period of time and true, it is difficult to remember everything, but in a month. During this period, people fall in love with each other. Friend and someone even marries information. I think in a month we gradually recognize each other, don't we? We'll arrange an interrogation with partiality. You don't know my friend's smiles. Turbines, they can ask a lot of questions and they know you so well, not all Beavis. For example, since childhood we have been going to school together. Our families walked well, they are friends, he can. Most of all to question Beavis from surname Bean, that's what we call him in the company. Some of you have not trusting. I notice a relationship in a friend. A dispute between a friend is a sacred matter for fulfillment. Conditions, of course, will be monitored, especially. They all know that getting married is in my plans. Did not enter between us should be strong love to make them believe. By the way, need to rehearse kisses that I have in my ears. I don't believe in our own, we'll kiss in front of your friends, naturally says so. As if it were a self-evident self. I am trying to remember the terms of the contract. Especially the conditions of the clause about bodily contact. I don't think there was anything about obligatory kisses. My friends do not. Fools, I have already said that we sleep. We will be together, not together, but in the same room. Yes, of course, you didn't talk about kisses. Everything is spelled out in the contract. I will read the contract and find this clause. I am sure he was not there, although these legal. The wording is straight text. Of course, the rest of the way we drive in silence. Someone calls the turbine and he answers, and I fall into a stupor. I hope that warm embraces of languid glances will be. It's quite enough, that's how it turns out. Sophisticated rich people will believe in relationships. Only seeing with my eyes how a couple exchanged. Of course, I did not foresee this. I can kiss, but I can do it. For the public difficult, let the turbines. Attractive men we. Stopping at the red eye. I turn to Daniel to ask another question, but it still doesn't express too close to me in a couple centimeters, literally hotter than it The breath touches my lips for a moment and his mouth covers my natural self. I fall into a stupor wide to open Daniel, but he does not allow. Intercepts my hands, pressing them to his breasts, and he kisses me. The mouth moves the tongue impudently. Opens my lips, penetrating deeper and deeper. Ends as quickly as it began. Turban lets me go and then informs me. You need to practice such a kiss. Nowhere. Chapter 13 is good. Good for nothing, yes, it must be. Jokes as good as it is for me too. Now to remember this kiss all night. And rack my brains over what I experienced. Yes, I am already loaded with the question of this. Trembling and in goosebumps reaction to unexpected action or still mine. Treacherous lips like this with. If the latter is the case, then I have it. For myself, the year will be bad news. Though no, it will be unbearable. One of the most difficult efforts of will. They drive you away to understand by the cars that are standing around and by the doorman in livery waiting. Guests at my door in such establishments. I have never been there before. I went around in a wide arc because I heard there a cup of tea stands like cast iron. Bridge, get rid of that facial expression. Turban instantly reads all my thoughts. The first thing you'll need to do. To work, so we come home and start at mirrors rehearsing the view like wealth. For you, routine is otherwise, my friends. They will think that you are a money hunter and only for the sake of them I will be by a naive guy. That is, yes, he's just as naive. A guy like me, a weightlifter, and my expression. Faces will immediately convince them of. Reverse skeptically, HKA, you said they. Not to find out all my ins and outs, not. You are afraid that they will immediately dig up. They will find out that I am from a simple sem, and in general on. I came to you to get a job and this is. It's normal, just a barbarian on his. The secretary got married only. To think of why you hooked me so much that I violated all his principles. We enter into spacious marble hall and Daniela helps me take off my coat to pass in the wardrobe, and then I put my elbow. I put my fingertips on it and we go beyond the metro house to the hall. I try not to look around and pretend that I am in a familiar environment, but peripheral vision is also noted by Bagato. Decorations and status, guests from dinner B. This chic hall seems to emit an aura. Prosperity and success. Oh, I'm afraid I have such a. There is no trace of energy, and Turban's friends immediately see through our scam. Fortunately we are escorted to a closed booth and you can relax a little. I sit down in a comfortable chair and continue the conversation. I can't even imagine what can happen here. To come up with you and me as if from different. I shrug my shoulders nervously and give out. Version, maybe I saved you from death when you choke on something. I bravely ran up to you and at the help game lich maneuver. Stop, come on, without this. Daniela interrupts, tell me more. Made me artificial respiration of my mouth in mouth, and I couldn't forget the taste of your lips, and that a good idea would be a good idea with. But unfortunately this is too much. Difficult due to lifelong consequences. Thank God he understands this. Okay, I'll think about it. Over love stories later. Time is now. Let's start with a closer one. Dating. Tell me about your family and why are you and your sister in such a deep F? As I'm sinking into thought like this. Right away and lay out all your. The ins and outs are complicated, I don't like it at all. Complain, and the turbine did not give the tongue. Parents died, there is an older brother, but he has his own problems. Anya is just his sister. I made a little mistake in choosing a man. I state everything in ear and in a few words. In general, everything is fine with us, we are not in any way In the ass. Yes, that's why you're at 25. A virgin is simply by conviction, and not due to the fact that there is no time for personal life and money to care for. Wallpapers. So shameless he talks as if I look wretched and scared for him. I liked it not only for the sake of virginity he took me, and here you are. Get signed for a derogatory statements as if he himself was from Olympus. There are no turbines, of course, attractive, prominent, but it's not God, but maybe I have. Was an unsuccessful first love. I am now. I think that all men are goats, ogres, and this is so cunningly squint. Yes. It's not like that. I didn't have any first. I didn't have time for love, or I just is not capable of homeless feelings, since very smart, I don't know, but pour it out. I'm not going to take a shower at the right time. A waiter enters the booth with drinks and snacks, giving me the opportunity from this topics to leave while everything is arranged. We are silent. And why did you decide that you would never get married? I asked Daniela as soon as we again we are left alone, but there are no turbines either. He hurries to pour out his soul to me. He sits with his legs lips into a thin thread and stare at the plate, as if picking up words. Chapter 14. Daniela, I appreciated the exterior. Rebrova would not have offered the data otherwise. Work, and after that now I don't even know. Do I make a mistake? Marina is beautiful, sharp, and has an innate grace of clothes. As she carries herself through the restaurant on, all the men stare at her so that the necks turn, and I suddenly feel pride and half with jealousy sucks. And now she asks why I don't want to get married, and that I owe her to tell the whole truth or something. It's creepy to tell a girl who like slyly Vu's story of a lonely man, a boy who was not needed by his father or mother, therefore he was brought up by nannies. I don't believe in the institution of marriage because I have seen many of these marriages from the outside. I do without details from them only. Problems with the division of property and lifetime commitment to. I decided that I would hire children at the age of 40. A surrogate mother for gestation. Air and enough for me. Rebrova claps with his long eyelashes, as if trying to take off from the chair and rush away from the idiot who is not such nonsense, but as soon as he met me, he changed his mind. Yes, Marina shows quotation marks with his fingers. Yes, wincing. I agree that everything will look like this. It's stupid that the guys won't believe it. It's urgent. Something to think than Rebrova could. It doesn't occur to me to hook me. No reason why I could influence someone like you thoughtfully, says my future fake wife as if he reads my thoughts. Okay, don't worry. So far, I'm still worried about something else. You nor I are in a hurry. Cheeks fall out, I breathe heavily through my nose. I think that she felt bad, allergies there, or choked, but she PRT and begins laughing out loud, almost falls on the table. She tried to keep laughter so much, but in vain. By the way, it is beautiful and infectious. I myself soon begin involuntarily smile. Oh, I can't tribute, wiping away tears. Through the giggles she betrays how I can't imagine this picture like that. Stop laughing. Well, in general, you're right, so it will really be easier for us, Marina. Some kind of easy with her, just an even E. Danya doesn't bother me, although I don't bother anyone. I allow myself to be called that. Then it is useless to forbid something, so I've finished the dessert. Well, I'll decide. Quit with fun, otherwise at such a pace she will bring me to sincere sympathy. No, it's too late for sweets, it's sad. Rebrova says, and I want to force it. Feed her the most delicious and high-calorie dessert. Maybe if she becomes Tolstoy, will cease to arouse in me the desire not to Constantly stare as you want then. Go home, repent, with the thought that in a couple of weeks, you'll have to move into my room. Why do you say? I guess I just like to watch. Her embarrassment makes her blush so sweetly. Bites his lower lip and looks away. That I can't help imagining how we sleep in the same bed, and there is absolutely anything can happen by chance. I'm waiting. I can't wait to go to the fac wardrobe. I give the numbers and it's great turbo, that's what it is. Your bride hears the voice of the fur and a clap on the shoulder arrives. I turn around, well, acquaintance with one from friends comes before planned has to be included in the I serve the game almost without rehearsals. Marina's coat, and as soon as she enters the sleeves, hands, smells, floors and pressing back to your chest healthy fur. Hello new relative Varvara MX. He showed up at a restaurant with the sister of Vorn's wife. I didn't understand what her name was, Nastia or Asia. You're right, this is Marina, my future wife. Rebrova tenses in my hands. I have to lower my head and conduct lips on her neck so that she does not forget the role. And I, Nastia, says business sister with a lotta vomit, and I'm Maxim. Maybe you will stay and let's sit together. Very nice. Get acquainted, says Marina Tico, but to happiness does not stutter when he does not say well done, pretends to be submissive. Sweetheart, and she herself returned behind the leg. I am pinched, yes, I know what is necessary. Go home, but I really want to accept the invitation of Masa to all the rest of the evening to squeeze Rebrova like. I refuse with great difficulty. And I say goodbye. Chapter 15. Marina grew up as a calm child. Aloud. My sister reads what kind of nonsense I myself. I understand that I'm writing garbage, but nothing worthwhile. The report about which I am. I asked for turbines not to go, I took out mine. I chose a couple of childhood photos too. Danila had at least the slightest idea of what kind of child I am. There was suddenly a conversation about what kind of we were in childhood, and he is not aware of the report. For the turbine, I calmly say to my sister. I told you about NM. I told you, but I still told you. Then she said that they would not know about the World Cup. Each other in communication, and you have been in communication for several days. Didn't even say hello, and you didn't see each other. I would like to spend more time for breakfast, lunch, dinner and better sleep that They round up what you don't like. The turbines. An adult prominent man is probably experienced. So I would take him by the horns and go. Nothing better than spending nights together. For a couple not yet invented, I'm not going to sleep with him, and in vain his sister. He does not calm down. Really suits you, you are with me. Now such a beauty has become slim. And he is also very attractive. Prominent stately Marin Anya sits down next to her and truth, take a closer look. How do you feel about it? Imagine me to come up to him and offer to get to know each other through bed, and I forgot that you are with us. Inexperienced, complains sister. Seduction. You won't know much, but if you dare I will teach you. I look, you have learned to nod on her belly, and where is yours? Ani purses her lips and silently stands up with bed, comes out of the room loudly slamming the door. I offended her myself. I understand, but her offer goes beyond the framework we have with Turban is purely business relationship, but report I still throw it into the head. Where do I know to friends? Turbine prit in the head. I pretwist Danila. I do styling in front of the mirror, but I manage without makeup, not for Turban of course, but the contract provides for always attractive and alluring to him. Will like it if I suddenly come to him with applied to the face with a clay mask, although Expression of his face in this situation, I would. I took a look before I went to study to Danya. I go to my sister heaven discord. Acts. Nerves quarreled even when she reported that she has no relationship with her. Men did not work out, but she is pregnant and will leave the child. Of course I was shocked but did not want to introduce me with her Maxim, but she never had time to. One day I returned home in tears and with positive test in Anya's hands. She never told me what they had there happened, and therefore I shouldn't have poke her into it. I don't sleep. I push her door. The room does not turn and continues. Lie on the bed and I still enter. I come closer inside and see how she ski shoulders hay sitting down next to it because of me. Yes, well, why are you Anechka? It's me who is a fool. I blurted out without thinking. I miss you. Suddenly my sister declares, I know that he rare and I still miss her. The application turns out to be for me. Anya cried suddenly because of her father. Your child only once in that very a day after. I never saw her. Was sad, although we had reasons with her. Enough, then lack of money, then toxicosis, then my dismissal, but Anya always was a ray of light and a clod of positivity. Now she is different, confused and sad. I can't help it still. I love it when I remember crying without stops, like now. Sorry, that reminded me. I never forgot. But he doesn't even know about the river. He lives there with. I gently touch this Enyid of mine shoulder. Maybe you can tell me what you have. It happened. Yes, nothing. He had the other one, and I turned out to be useless. That's the whole incident, and I'm a fool. Ears hung up and nothing. Stupid. Now you have. There will be a wonderful daughter, and he has someone. Anya nods to anyone and appears on the unexpected smile. And you forgive me. Well, these rich men don't dare to fall in love with this turbine. It seems that he and Maxim are in the same field of berries. I just nod briefly in my own. There are no plans for any love and affection. Also only a cold calculation with him, and I go. I stop in the study to the turbine and I knock loudly on the door. I hope he's there, but for some reason, no one answers. What is there? Do a woman who previously she introduced herself as a working house, looking at the I came suspiciously to talk to Danila. I will say that you have come. She is pressing me aside and enters the office. It turns out that it was easy. Open the door and go inside for some reason. I didn't think. It's all right, you can come in, says the woman, leaving Danila's office. Romanovicha, good evening, greets turbines as soon as I go in. What destinies? I came to say that there was no report. This is why Daniel seems to be extremely. We will be concerned and confused with you. Get to know each other differently and how? In a natural way, that's how to. Daniel, and there is something like this in his gaze. Lights up. I can't find it. Definition, unexpectedly. Let's start right now. Chapter 16. While I'm trying to figure out what's going on, Turban takes a step towards me, then another one. And only then his wide palm lies on my waist and in a masterly way presses on the lower back. I find myself pressed against Danila's strong body and of course same. Resists, continues unceremoniously. Hold me, and then completely grab me behind the back of the head and kisses. This kiss does not go nothing compared to what was in the car then. Danny only failed now. Now he is plowing it to the fullest. Unceremoniously spreads my mouth with his language and forces obedience precisely. He forces me because I answer him. Hot male palms wander over my back, elastic body pressed so that I have the opportunity to evaluate excellent physical shape turbine and everything else I also evaluate, only here. I don't expect his hands to become. I'll take it more impudently under my t-shirt here. That's where I die off, but it doesn't let me go. Step away. I raise my voice that you are even. Allow a fine as if nothing had happened. He says, I warned you that you did not. There should be no kisses, he also exclaimed. Adjusting his t-shirt. Lord, what a shame he is. That he decided that I offered him to find out each other better through the. They are not spelled out in the contract, therefore. I am not forbidden. I forbid you. You can't kiss another. Fine. Daniel shakes his head. We owe it. Do in front of my friends. And where are you? See them here. I switch to you, and then with ambitions I will soon be without any ambition at all. I will remain the fee, although maybe on the turbine expects to get me on contract and keep the money for yourself, so. It brings me to emotions. I remember that. Must be obedient, meek, and don't be rude at all. Daniel, good he is about. I didn't remember to practice. Not anything will hurt. It's better that you surprise. Here and now, then later, when on us. They will watch. I will not be surprised. I don't have a mirror here, but your face. Shocked, you didn't warn about the kisses and I won't give it out calmly anymore like you. Imagine it, I have to get up and Marina will say loudly now. Kiss no, but here you do it, train like this. React to him. It's easy to say at me. In general, one gets the impression that I am divorced and all this is very much for him. I like to kiss me and these touches. That's why he got under my t-shirt. Why not climb the money? Fools. Paid. You look to agree with what? I signed a contract so that the role of his own. It is not prescribed well there, but under. Why did you want a t-shirt for me? Amplify the effect to make sure you don't. Will crash if I don't comply. Terms of the contract, then I will be left without salary by the end of contract. I would like. I shouldn't be here, and exchange yum with turban, so there I know that there is not. I was going to beat you. I lied and did not look at you. Blinking as I was going to do just that, and I wanted to do it, but at the last moment. Slowed down, not because of penalties. It's just that I've never before to hang to run into the response of the turbines. He wouldn't hit me confidently, but the fine would be. I didn't write it out for this, you and I came. I almost run into a fine again. Because of this, the turbine after his kiss. I want to return between us strictly business relationship. It's a pity that it's more is impossible, since we will very soon. Let's become husband and wife fictitiously, but some interactions are behind them. Will entail these reports about nothing. I don't even. I know that it will be better to write there if we will get to know each other by conducting more time together. Agree here is tomorrow, and let's see me off. I'm invited to one event out of town. Let's go together. Let's have a drink and relax there. We'll find out better. We'll have time. Talk, of course. Again, it seems to me that Turban speaks somehow suspiciously. We will talk all night long, I promise. I would prefer it during the day. I don't promise I will. Busy with negotiations, but then. Obligatory, Chapter 17. Well, why are you shrunk? All asking. Turban, minutes after we left for. You're afraid of the highway or what? I'm afraid, I confess. Moody after his parents crashed. I hate speed. I can't. Therefore, there is no way to relax. To hide our fear, especially since we are closer. Kind of getting to know. Let him know not. I have a car like a tank. You're a thief. The road is good and the speed of everything. 160 would say. It becomes even scarier. My throat is dry. I reach for a bottle. Water that I put in the door. 160 in the car, you don't feel it, I thought. Maximum 100, and we have a long drive at all. Where do I ask? By making a couple of large sips to visit a business partner. Invited me to his country house in order to discuss a joint project in informal setting. What kind of project? Tell me more. Are alive, I am interested for. To lie down, I had no idea. It is said that I will find out everything on the spot, and you will not. You're so afraid, you trust him so much, and what if you kidnapped for ransom? Turbines begins. Laughter definitely does not answer this time. Dealing means trusting a person, I decide. Not to escalate, but to get down to business, to learn. Biography of the future fictitious husband. Okay, tell me how you got started. To run a business that. Ocon work. What projects do you dream of? Studied at a business school in England. Holding. Left by the father during the divorce because he invested part of the family's funds. Mothers managed him while I was growing up and studying. The second and then the third and fourth stepfathers. All of them are mediocrity and have brought the Alphonses. The company was saved almost to bankruptcy by the fifth. My mother's husband, and there I pulled up. We. Dimmick is still friends and partnership. What the company does, you know. Provost of any container and cargo transportation. And I dream of going even further from the city to some remote manor to breed big cats, tigers, their Laos, cougars, lynxes, crocodiles and pythons. I look at Turbin, joking with disbelief. It doesn't seem like he's talking seriously. This is. He has dreams while someone wants to start family and have heirs for the people. Coke has something to leave to children. Dream of. To breed animals and elephants, to be specified. To understand the extent of its shift, there is only predators. I always wanted, but I was forbidden. And now there is no time. Let's get married and you'll move in if you help me with anything. Do not dream of caring for an animal. Even you pay me too little for me to. I took such a risk. The turbines laugh again. Still had a joke. Well, at least a python, or we will get a monitor lizard after the divorce. Get someone. If you want. I cut it off categorically. What kind of foo are you? Cowardly, callous. Now you are me at all. Plunged me into confusion. That's why I could flare up. What to come up with, and don't say it yourself in such a confusion. Is caught up and playing along. You hit the spelt. You lost consciousness, and I was forced to take you to the lounge on the sofa. Unbuttoned while he was trying to bring you to your senses. I saw your. Daniel's chest falls silent and squints at me. Won't believe. Here the bastard will take revenge, then let him. It will be like this. I woke up myself and threatened that I will go to court, where I will accuse you of infliction of grievous bodily harm in the performance of my service duties. And you seem to be so frightened that you have begun. Jump in front of me, ingratiate himself. Invite to dinner, and when I agreed, spend the evening in your company. I saw how witty, groovy and, in general, a beauty. That's when you fell in love. The idea is good, nods the turbines, but better. On the contrary, you spilled coffee on me. Yes. Right on the fly, as if she fell to her knees. Began to wipe it with her nose handkerchief, and then unbuttoned my pants. Blow God, I can't hold back and start. Laugh out loud as I imagine this. I laugh even louder. I immediately notice that the car is slowing down and turns onto a country road, and Turbin still managed to distract me. So I forgot about fear. They arrived judging on the navigator. Almost I myself here for the first time. We turn around the edge of the forest belt, and immediately we see a good one standing on a hill. Wooden two-story house behind a high. It differs from all the others in its fence, which means that it is definitely our destination. We reach the gate, Danila honks and they swings open, letting us inside. The first thing I see is a gorgeous blonde of indeterminate age that came out. She must be old to meet us from home. 35 to 40, but she looks 20, and age is visible only in the ability to present itself as a queen. Who is this asking my business? Partner Agatha, as if nothing had happened, reports turbines and parks the car, and here I am. Along. Drilling. Marina, I hear the ring very quietly, Danila. He pushes me sideways with his elbow. I look at him, and I see his face distorting. He or not. He tries to wink at him. My eye twitches. I don't understand that the ring is in back pocket, says in my ear. Get it unnoticed and for a day without a ring. Agatha, a woman will not believe in our engagement. Danila is inexorably approaching. Continues to pantomime until I get what kind of back pocket. Agatha stops opposite. You are not the only one, she gives us out instead of welcome. Sounds like an accusation. I told you that. She was clearly not waiting for me, but the turbine alone. So I dressed especially for him. Blouse with deep neckline, tight leggings speak for themselves. Danila pretends not to understand, smiles. This Agatha in all 32, and attracts me to my side. Of course I'm alone now. I don't go anywhere, I get acquainted. Marishka is mine. Nesta puts me. I remember about the ring, and quickly clap. Daniel's ass is affordable, that is. Of course, it is the first past the turbines. Just twitches and smiles at me through teeth. I take the ring out of another pocket. I just wore it like that without a case. I put it in my pocket. This is what the rich have. Quirks. I'm once again afraid to take off mine. The only silver ring. And he threw the gold into the back pocket from where it is easy. It could fall out. I put on a headband with massive stones similar to the real one. A diamond on my finger, and I hand it to Agatha. My hand, thank God, my size. The ring sits as in the cast and business partner turbine. He notices. Yes, the first thing she does is on my hand, and only then looks at me like this. Suddenly she exclaims, looking past my face, you are getting married recently decided. Bisley nods. Turbine fell in love. Agatha shifts her gaze a little now. He looks at me and looks at me with a sour. She clearly doesn't like me. With a smile, but to say she does not dare to do anything, invites us to our chic mansion while we walk along the perfectly paved path. I think of in what area can Agatha cooperation with turbine comes to mind. Only one explanation, and it is definitely not is associated with neither old nor cargo transportation. And you met a long time ago, asks Agata. I am regularly silent. Danila and I are absolutely not ready for interrogation, so I put the answers on his strong shoulders. And I pretend that I can't hear well. A little months ago, Turbine said, and already get married, fall in love. I say. He smiles, pretending to be the happy bridegroom. I willingly believe everything this way in our circles, and sometimes yes. Agatha answers tack. That I have not a single doubt. Stay. When we are left alone, we will need to ask him what they had with her. His behavior has the feeling that absolutely nothing, but Agatha behaves like this. As if he promised a ring, and a wedding. Her, not me, and here I am incomprehensible. Drew up, and the ring suits me very well. It is worth noting that it makes the whole brush graceful. From the past. I have time to see both her hands, and the ring is chic and tasteful with a huge stone. I doubt it's any cubic zirconia would not have taken such a risk and buy an inexpensive ring about this too. You'll need to ask to know how much. I carry money here. Not bad. Swimming pool has a steam room and aroma. Room tells Agatha when we enter. I'll call my masseuse in the house. I will ask her to come earlier. He said that he would be with. As a bride, I would prepare a whole spa procedure is not worth meeting and here. Same. Slamming me on the side. We only have a spa salon. Explains for me to this Agatha. On couple session was like this, then I can offer a swimming pool and steam room in the evening. The three of us will drink wine. You are drinking wine. Marina has to answer a little. Agreed. Masha. Aga is calling someone. A young woman appears next to us. Girl, and immediately receives an order from the hostess of the house. Show the guests the pool to us. Your fiancé will have to leave. Agatha turns to me. All ready to do business. I nod. And I am going to go with Maria, but I am stopped by Danila and took his hand. Pulls you to her, hugs her waist and he whispers in my ear, in an hour come look for me. Ask him at any cost what he has. I mean, at any cost. I don't have time. Daniel quickly pulls away and leaves with Agatha. Takes me to the pool. Well, that the fake groom took care of it in advance. About me taking warm clothes like this, as a swimsuit can get colder in the evening. I don't love swimming, but I do it. There is nothing more, and I change my clothes. Maria shows me where Porna and the pool indicates a minibar with juices, drinks and alcohol, and leaves me. I swim alone. From everything that fell on me in recent days, I have allowed myself a little relax and then go out to wipe. I change into dry clothes and go to the search for Danila. I can help you with something. From the surprise I jump the call of Maria. Yes, if I can. I would like to go to my fiancé. For a few moments she asked me. Looks. Omri, I don't think it's a good idea, Agatha. Aristarchov did not ask to take care of the so that no one would let him and Danila Romanovich bothered. I have no doubt. I mumble barely. It is heard that take me to the bridegroom. I told you I don't obey your Agatha. Aristarchs, therefore, I demand immediately. Take me to my fiancé. I think I'm starting understand what Danila meant by any. The price. Chapter 19. Masha leads me through the corridors into the unknown premises and is clearly going to knock on his door beforehand, then to negotiate through her, and in general, in every possible way to stall for time. Therefore, when I understand that here she is overtaking the target, Agatha's assistant once briefly, they hit me and turn the handle and push it away from me. I hear an indignant cry behind my back, but I don't care much because in front of my eyes, my fiancé and his fiancée, called Par, were engaged in this office. Fortunately, not in the bedroom. Clearly not signing papers. Danila is sitting on the sofa, all kind of disheveled, and Agatha is clearly jumping from his lap to another. The end of the room, and how should I do this? Debauchery will be ordered to react to role. Skunda. They kicked us out of the house, then we would have gone back and quietly spent the night each in my bedroom. Decide to take a risk. Cute. And what did you do it here? Asked suspiciously. The turbines frown, and the devil shakes his head barely noticeably. So you can't make a scandal very much. It's a pity. I pout, my lips offended, and rebuild the line of behavior. I'm bored. I don't like to swim alone, you know. Cat, and in general, you promised me quickly to finish with business. I highlight the last word and throw a sharp glance at Agatha. To devote all the time to me, the son. We have just finished. Joyfully. Boss jumps up from the couch. I was going to go to you, and you are ahead of me. I wonder if they managed to do anything. For some reason I don't like this idea, but A picture where Agatha sits on you. Daniela generally causes acute irritation should have come earlier, although that's in essence what difference does it make to me, no psycho. Perhaps this is a sense of one's own dignity in me is not indignant. Jealousy is true, why would I to be jealous of a man who doesn't like the truth was already going to leave. Turban's partner snidely asks Turban. On a dubious matter, of course I gave you the final answer is nothing more. Discuss imperturbably, retorts Daniela, and wraps his arms around my waist. Past contract is finally and irrevocably torn apart. And I voice the terms of the new one to you, decide. I don't want to accept or not to accept. Hurry, says Agatha, pulling herself together. Let me give an answer tomorrow, and now I'll ask. To the table it is set in the bath. Vajia is frying kebabs. Woman is clearly upset but looks like tries not to serve, clicks heels in front of us, portraying hospitable hostess, and leads through the back door to yard A, through it to a separate house. From chimneys are pouring smoke, so this is a bathhouse, but it pours not only from the chimney, but also from around the corner. At home, and the nose teases the smell. Meat cooked on charcoal at once. I remember that it's lunchtime, it's time. Eat, but I immediately forget about it when a man comes out of the house. Veil for a few years. P50 hefty as a bear, short haircut on the open and on the neck is visible. A gold chain as thick as my hand. He smiles cordially, demonstrating Hollywood smile for many. Rub, and I understand that this is definitely not working. Well, Danilka, you and my ugly. If so, then go to the table, and if no, then anyway go now. I'm you. I'll give you a drink and persuade you don't understand anything. If this is Agatha's father, why did she name him Vajia, and if not the father, then who is this man? Bandit. Appearances are still in FV. From in Crimson Jackets, alas, no, Vajia. I get married here. Meet Marina, the bride. Mine. What is going on there? What a bastard. A natural turbine could not be in my car. I will explain everything to him when opportunities for this, uncle, at once. Vajia smiles, pretty approves of the choice. Turbine host house, and strictly adds with, do not pull the children, otherwise you will be like. We don't stand on the threshold, pass through. I'm for meat. Agatha takes us to the bathhouse, and I don't. I can get rid of all bad thoughts that this strange family wants from Turbine, and whether they will offer us some kind of swinger and then pay the Turbine. We go to the dressing room and immediately immerse ourselves in humid heat mixed with the aroma of Rapana brooms. Goodbye to my beautiful straight hair now. A blue robe has snowed, I have to do the same. At the very hand they are shaking, we will also be in front of it now. Undress each other. Chapter 20. And what is frozen? Daniela asks. Unceremoniously stoss from the hips pants boxers. Thank God they stay on it, but how long? He has to remove them at such a speed. Offer right here in front of you. There will be no other options for undressing. Daniela shrugs his shoulders behind our door. Wait for Agatha, it is unlikely that she will believe that you are mine bride if I suddenly go out and wait. Shit until you change your clothes everywhere. Check, I don't understand who Agatha is. What? You're so worried about her. She will think that she will think to me. Absolutely. I don't give a damn, she's one of the potential major customers with whom we plan to cooperate. We must sign a contract, but I'm not satisfied. Conditions, and she does not agree to mine. More precisely, he agrees, but with an additional paragraph. Accepts hints about which one exactly. Point is said here are the rich people with them. Apparently, everything is connected with one place, this is We commoners and have no time to talk about it. Think and they have over there you just want. Get a good deal, take off your pants. So take off your clothes, Marina, put on swimsuit and go out together at least. Turn away, I demand, folding your arms on your chest. Do you think I haven't seen a woman's breasts, my? I saw. Turn away, hush, you mutter, but still turns his back. I grab a robe from a hook and they pounce on Daniela and take off my trousers. The disadvantage of a one-piece swimsuit is immediately determined. I can put it on only until waist, and then you need to take off both the robe and I cast a quick glance to the side. Turbine, I wish I hadn't done it. Honestly, because right into this moment he stands completely naked with his back. But is it naked? Especially with such a phenomenal memory as my own, I immediately remember the sun, and in I put the cell aside. I'm sure it's going to happen later. From there he will get out into the most inappropriate moment. Daniela straightens his swimming trunks and then freezes and turns his head sharply. Our eyes meet. I turn away, cursing my suspiciousness on what the world is worth is what. I looked at it. I wonder how. Key begin to burn and sweat palms when I'm embarrassed or too. I'm nervous, and what did we consider? Turban's hoarse voice sounds just. I wanted to make sure you weren't watching new. Yes, Tikaria decided to see who to marry. You are going to get married. I didn't even think about it. True, I wasn't going to see him. It just turned out too much to consider. Quickly and unexpectedly, how could I? To think that he will change clothes too. While I turned away here. VR Turban's hoarse voice sounds owl. Next to my ear, and his hot breath touches the lobe. Admit that you wanted to. Of course not. I jerk my head in side to get rid of Vi. Daniela, only he catches me, embraces me, and presses me by the waist that he. At this moment, completely naked, I try to. Don't think yes for some reason, nothing at all. I don't think the locker rooms are somehow abrupt. It becomes cramped either because Daniela or because she is on her own. Little but a minute ago I didn't felt its size, and now I want to get outside as soon as possible. It's still hot and smells like something so delicious that I involuntarily pulling my nose. Turns out to be like this. Danilo smells. I understand it when he suddenly he turns me to himself. Thank you. At least the floor of my bathrobe has zero smell, so as not to embarrassing with the touch of your body, although what a thank you he is going to kiss me. The last thought drowns in the taste of his lips, which unceremoniously snuggle up to mine. I either remember about it what he said last time, or just out of surprise, I answer to open my mouth. In response, I also kissed him. Turbans unceremoniously presses me into his body, clutches the robe on my hand, lower back, and forces you to bend a little in the back in this position, and finds us dumbfounded. Agatha, and you are here? Oh, I see. It is clear to the voice that she was completely unprepared to see her at. I can't, because when Danila lets me go, she already has a trace caught a cold. But in front of me he continues. Stan Turbines, it would be better to have his trace too. On my word, I'm completely. I don't know how to behave after. Kiss Haru that the groom is in no way. What is happening is not. Cat. And then I put on swimming trunks for some reason. I follow him again, but I manage to do it. Turn away before he says I'll go out. I think Agata has no questions left regarding our relationship. She may have. And there are no left, but they are definitely. I got it. What is it now? Was okay. I let him down that kiss in turbine machine, then kind of quite logically explained the need to check my reaction. Akam kissed me. That's exactly what you need to do. Ask him everything today here. I wanted such unexpected clashes. I would like to avoid them for some reason. My heart is beating too hard, and this stupid desire arises. Repeat. The horror must be stopped urgently. Any contact without spectators. Let kiss. I was only. Necessity. Chapter 20. The first dressing gown covers me almost to my toes. I tie the belt tighter and go out into the. There is no one in the dressing room, but from behind the door leading to the main room of the bathhouse, loud voices are heard, and the laughter is thick. Bass Vasily, Agatha's laughter, and unintelligible baritone turbine. Go to them, push the doors. I find myself in a small wooden living room. A rectangular table of meat is laid here. Appetizers, pickles, vegetables, a dish with meat in center, and decanters with drinks on the edge of the. There are 4 wicker chairs, 3 of which they are busy alone waiting for me. Amazing, but the owners have already changed their clothes and are sitting in dressing gowns. Apparently decided the time in vain. Not lose. Marinka, beautiful you are, a girl. Hangs a dubious compliment. Vasily ruined all the plans for my wife and me. It would have been scary. Maybe they persuaded. I'm even afraid to become our donor. Mentally voice your guest donor. What exactly does this family need? What can I answer to this in my life? I shrug my shoulders embarrassedly and I'm smiling. Fortunately I can't tell. Has to answer Vasily himself. For the sake of fairness, I have already. I said a long time ago that I was against it, so there is no only the fault of my fiancé, but also mine. Principals hope this is on the deal. Do not. Will also affect the new line of your chemistry. Pour into our containers if only. If you invite them to the wedding, he threatens Tolstoy. With a finger with a massive signet, the master of the house. And don't even doubt it. Wait. Invitations in the coming days. We are to the new years. We plan to get married. Further time passes. It's quite normal to undress. To the naked, to beat me with brooms. No one. I didn't want to. Once she said I won't take a bath. State of health, and left me behind, and did not deny themselves anything, and the 3 of us went to the steam room. I understand what was the calculation of this eccentric family. Agatha in a swimsuit looks like sex bomb from advertising if I did them. The turbine has already been persuaded to anything. Along with the awareness of his importance in saving the boss from the treacherous. More disgusting jokes are more fun, and time flies faster. Unnoticed night comes, and it's time to disperse. By CM, I only understand. A what? CM. In one time you owe. What will happen? He is clearly dispersed by communicating with Agatha. Ona knows how to present himself and flirts all evening. Not embarrassed by the husband of the turbines in the end even. He puts me on his lap and constantly touches to fence off from her. How I should cool him down in the bedroom if I am myself. I am in a strange state. He would have been characterized me to go further in caresses and indignation at your promiscuity. Helping me get dressed takes me out of my thoughts. The question of the groom, I thought so much that even I didn't notice that the 2 of us were back in the locker room. No, you don't need. I drank. It's 2 glasses. Nervously bouncing Danila to the side and grab the knot on your belt. It's better to change your clothes as soon as possible and go out, and I also advise you to prepare for me the answers to questions about today. You must guess that it's none of your business. Hell itself, and did not explain anything. Run over. The attack was a test for stress resistance and reaction. You direct. Well done. Praise. You have to hold out the night. The turbines threaten not a bit of my collision. Without being afraid, and in the morning we'll go home here. Why is he talking about the night? I abruptly turn away, making it clear that I am waiting for him to clear. Daniel's room wrestles with things and soon a sound is heard opening and I quickly throw off the closing door. Bathrobe, swimsuit, put on my clothes and I go out. The owners lead us to the bedroom as if the court nobles were steaming. Royal newlyweds on the first wedding night. It seems that yes to them. They will remain to the candle. Support. I feel more and more nervously. Here's your bedroom, says Agatha at the door of the room on the second floor. If you need anything, call Marie. It's hot for you too, but Vajia wants doves and spanks his wife. I've seen enough of you on the ass myself. Now I'll go and remember my youth. Vasily picks up Agatha and throws her to his shoulder. She playfully squeaks and drags further along the corridor. I see them off, surprised. Look at what he did not do with Danila. Nothing to turn them on like that. I would. I probably stood there for so long and wondered, but the turbine gets tired of hanging out in the corridor, pushes the door open and drags me into the bedroom. Chapter D. BPA in it is more than 8 kilograms. Testosterone, and I have a couple of glasses of wine in me that make themselves felt by the lungs. Dizziness. I weakly protest when, instead of letting Daniel go, presses me against the wall tightly so, applies his back to the cold plaster, and of course he himself huddles to the, I would even say, warm grief. After all, my body temperature is clearly improved. Of course, I protest very much. Grab the fabric of his shirt only. For some reason, my hands do not obey me, and this very shirt is pulled on themselves. To play along a little, Daniel whispers in a centimeter from my lips. They moaned. Surely there are few spectacles waiting for his words. Sobering. He walks away, lets go, but pulls me to bed and sits on a soft mattress. For some reason, he walks around the bed, pulls on itself, but it does not yield. As rooted in place, looks massive. If made of natural wood, then we won't even move it together. What are you? Do I decide to ask for a rearrangement? I decided to do it. I answer. I check it is possible. Whether to make a rumble, yes. While I try to understand what Danila is talking about, he jumps on the bed and starts on it, fooling around, jumping on all fours from what is just the mattress pressed too much. The quiet one finally comments on who the bed is, and you, Marina, are also quiet. Where are the moans for sure? I take more air into my lungs and I will stand loudly, drawling, so that heard a second time, does not let me moan. Heavy man's hand. It was Daniel who covered it. My mouth with my palm that it hisses in horror. You said to moan, I answer, as only he removes his hand. It looks like the cry of a wounded animal, and not the groan of you. That it is not. Daniel who falls silent and then puts his fingers to his forehead and frowns. For I have completely forgotten. Confused in his emotions, I just silently. I am waiting for his further decrees to moan like this, so that I don't have a loud and realistic. So let him put up with it, or himself moans. Agatha is sure she will be satisfied. Then I don't have time to ask which. It is training that Daniel means, as he throws me on my back and he himself climbs from above. Here I was against the wall, slightly stunned and now extremely. I am dumbfounded. What is going on with him? Mood and plans change every free minute. What are you doing? I ask when Daniel will set himself up. Shirt I'm squeezed between his legs, can only to sit down, but what will it give? Only I will be even closer to him, and this is not for me. I must, and so I can't forget his smell, which I felt in the locker room. I continue to lie and look at how My fictitious fiancé opens hollow shirt and Stasia from her shoulders and then completely throws aside the complexity of it. It's worth noting that I'm perfect for a couple of hours. I noticed his sculpted body, but openly examine it in front of Agatha. And her eccentric husband is not 100 but in. I'm watching wide now. And hands with simple veins and soft. With a growth of hair, I swallow with a glance. Proportional chest on even. Hard as if carved out of stone. Abs, remember that look. You will look at me like this when meeting friends as if it were God. What I am still rising, first of all, is no longer in any gates and secondly, God. Seriously, what about this turbine, where is it? Wheezing, the voice touches the earlobe. The bare breasts touch mine about what? I also manage to touch it with my hands. The sides are completely silent, it is also hot. Seems to be even stronger than me, it's not bad for him. Over there. Steam ask next question. Danila doesn't let me, he presses me with his testosterone, or rather muscles. I am forced to fall on my back and turban. Hangs from above, looks without mockery. Attentively, sharply, seductively with him. Such a look, this is how he does it. Watch, so instead of reasonable, I have thoughts only forbidden, those about which I wouldn't have thought a few minutes ago. You are very beautiful, Marina the First. A real compliment falls from the lips. Turbine, seductive and alluring you. After all, you know, it's my answer that goes dead in. The contact of our breaths, Daniel gently but forcefully begins to. I absolutely do not understand what to kiss. Happens, I'm trying to keep myself in reality in which I am only fictitious bride and future fictitious. My wife is in the one where all our contacts are strict. The need for the one where the turbine was given. I can't like Marina Rebrova. But his lips, his gentle touches to my body, his hot breath, with which he runs a path to my neck completely. Knock the first common sense out of me. Real pretty loud moan from my lips break when Danila bites. The delicate skin on the neck of turban does not go. Then he does not try to take off my t-shirt. As I did it with my shirt, but that's it. It's so forbidden and sweet to intercept my. Danilo puts her hand on his chest. Forces the dawn to slide along the cast. Muscles, feel with your fingers a slightly damp skin along with his kisses on me. Its seductive smell seeps through. Pleasant and tolerable, I catch myself thinking that he would inhale it forever, or at least all of it. This night, if only she did not. Chapter 20 ended. The third fingers of the fake groom. They act more and more boldly, more and more nimbly, and more persistently if I miss in a fever. The moment when I am left without a blouse and trousers. Then skip the tang sliding from the hips. I can't get me like cold water. They pour from a bucket, I come to my senses. Who had been stroking Danila a second ago? Chest and shoulders freeze, and then strength. He is pushed away by you go too far, eat a stick. Spike and quickly moving the heels. Departing does not include in the contract, sparkling at him with an angry, condemning look. True, I'm not sure that he is in the dark. Understands correctly because Danila. We do not repent at all to the stick. They didn't get there, there's nothing to go too far, he says. Unperturbed, and rolls onto his back. Drawing out his vulgar hint next to me. Drives me into the paint, it's good that it's dark. Do you mean that I would have stopped for you? I don't believe you're lying to me all the time. Or is he silent about something? I am not lying to you. Is indignant at the turbines, and if Yuva is something, then does not come out on purpose, in fact I do not. Too talkative, tell me about your claims, I will try to eliminate them. Guilt, and I slip into his voice. For some reason I believe in his sincerity, and also I want to kiss him and say that everything is nonsense and you don't need to think that. I'm for the smear, I'm fighting my weakness mercilessly and raise the topic of the owners of the house. What Agatha and Vasily want from you, I understood correctly that intimacy is why. You didn't warn me, and you don't need to. Tell them that for the sake of checking I is determined to interrogate him all night only. I don't want to find myself in this intimate one again. Darkness and silence let him speak. He tells anything, and there is the morning. Vazia will come nobly Pacotino and his Zivchik died, and he and Agatha want children. And for some ridiculous reason they decided that I will become a good sperm donor for the future heirs of the Lukyanovs. I was not mistaken, but I refused it right away. Not interesting at all. Then Agatha decided to seduce me. I'm honestly surprised that Vazia agreed to such a thing for me. There's nothing to say to that. I just close eyes and pretend that I am falling asleep and not. I told you because I didn't expect it. I hoped that they will see the bride and silently forget about their. I'll do it, but I liked the way you behaved. Led by such a shy, modest girl who clicked to me and the rest of the bot. Names in principle you can already be. Show I'm pleased with the indignation I puff, but Turbin understands it in his own way. Sleep or something. Well, okay, sleep, says, and Danilo also calms down, tossing and turning. Making himself comfortable, he throws it at me. An arm and a leg, and in a couple of minutes his breathing becomes even and rare. He is lucky, he passes out in a minute and not forced to suffer until dawn. Contradictory thoughts are spoken by the who is clean. Apparently Danilo is not for me. Only I have now laid out the whole truth, but also he pays taxes honestly, although I also pay everything. I cry and try not to cry to people. Lie, and why not get drunk then? Can 'cause I'm lying to myself and won't admit it. That Danilo Romanovich was a turbine and mine. I like the employer, and it's not easy. I like it, but I really like it somehow. After of this confession I calm down and fall asleep. Although according to the logic of the I wake up from what is on me. Someone is looking. I open my eyes, and this is Danilo. Lies on his side, propping up his head palm and hypnotizes me with his gaze. How long have I been frightened? Because I don't. I can understand in what mood the turbines are. For a second it seemed to me that he was me. Admired it, but then he blinked and looked at. Turned into a Agatha Sva, and the chase has already steamed at the door to watch. Grumbles in displeasure a little more and knock. They won't start. I didn't think, Rebrova, that you were like that. Sleep much, and what would I do on? I didn't take the job. Snap out of bed, but as soon as naked feet touch the fluffy carpet and fresh the air of the room makes you cover. Goosebumps get to me that I'm in only underpants, which yesterday miraculously wore themselves. Saved by chapter 24. And what Anka enthusiastically asks when I briefly tell her about the trip. And nothing, went to bed after underpants. Spend your first night with a sheik. That's where you'll find such a man. Like Danila. In addition, you will be his fictitious wife and under the contract of men. You shouldn't be so many years without them. Once upon a time, I'll endure another year, the voice sounds confidently, but for some reason I myself did not. I feel doubts. My sister, here I am completely. He doesn't support. I hope to hear words of support from her, but she did not. Is going to convince me that the Supreme Court will be in order. Only asked. Told her about everything just with us. It is customary to share. Anya immediately told me about pregnancy, although I still don't Spreads strongly about the father and child, and I wouldn't know what's wrong with him. I did it. You'll see a lot of such situation and you think that one thing is still much better without random problems, pregnancies and tons of shed tears. Now Anya is smiling and living to the fullest. And I remember how she used to cry. Po fell in love with her asshole, and what? Now Marinka, you had such a chance. With a smile draws the sister such a man. By the way, this very man is prominent. Unceremoniously enters our girl's room. The convent sister barely has time to close her mouth. How the door opens, I wonder what. All this he has heard is worth imagining. That everything flows like to the cheeks heat I put my hands on them with the backside. I'm trying to cool down, I'm sorry for not having. Knocking, says Marina, we have an ambush. What happened? Varn. Varn is calling us to him. This is my friend. Gather at his housewarming party. I can't refuse, I don't understand. Frowning. Dies who? Oh, I can't pronounce. I come out. I imagine this one in colors. Meeting with turban is not enough. We got to know each other, and we will definitely be. Test. Ask what's in it. I hurriedly get out of bed. Where a minute ago I was sitting relaxed. And did not suspect anything, I followed Danila to his office. You can improvise like. No one knows about me anyway, and we discussed a lot, reminds Danila in general. He's right these days, he's done enough about himself. Said, and I tried to remember. Something was really deposited in the. I will remember something in memory if about this. They will ask, maybe he will carry, and if I say that I don't know, he won't believe that we're getting married. After all, you don't have to remember everything about you. Go ahead with me, and you're going to get married, exclaims the turban. Yes, you are the son. I should know who. I certainly can pretend to be a fool in love with you. You know who. Absolutely everything. Forgets to offer him a way out of the situation. But he immediately discards it. He will not go. I would not marry such a person, but show your love for me, hug. Often kiss is easy to say to him, kiss for. It's like drinking water, and for me. A whole ceremony that needs to be prepared. But of course I nod and run to get ready. My clothes are now stylish. I would myself. I never thought to wear anything like this, but stylists work wonders. Especially when they are competent specialists. Makeup I almost don't use me. They said that I have a good complexion. Plain, so the need for foundation no, I only moisturize, look in the mirror, face is ready. There is hair that I can easily. I style it with an iron, getting ready, I go out of the room and immediately come into view. Anka, who is just passing by. How beautiful you are, she exclaims. This turbine will definitely not resist Anya. Pulls it away, then everything will be needed by the sister. By a gag so that she doesn't talk too much, That Anya, look at yourself, has changed. This is how you look expensively stylish, Soon you will also become a turbine for a short time. I effectively remind her, because Anya has already. I dreamed. I understand that living in. I want to extend this house, but we have. Turban signed a contract about this. You can't forget even when you really want to. Dream. You need to remember about the document us. Only business relations are connected with him. I repeat this to myself all the way until I go downstairs, go through the living room, go out. On Pravda Street is worth walking to. Car at which Danila is waiting for me. Breath spirals. He is so beautiful. Even in regular trousers and a Paula t-shirt. It looks stunning, and what a perfume from. Its aroma will need to be carefully. Ask what is the name of Daniel's perfume. He stretches out his hand to me, and I immediately give it to me. Turban's palm squeezes it perceptibly with his fingers and opens the door for me. Car looks at the same time, so I forget about what I was thinking about all the way. That's why he looks like I'm the only woman who is interested in whether it is so. He rehearses for Friends chapter 25 and in general. We even go from one guest to another. We have no time to rest, we are so interesting. Will we live all year or do I still? Sometimes they will allow you to spend a cozy evening home in silence, otherwise I'm actually not very good. I love crowds of people and parties are hard for me. We will go to the highway and I decide again. Spend time with benefit. Danya, tell me about my friends, those who are today. There are few cars going to a housewarming party and Turban flies at a decent speed. Gorde va Arvin from the family of dreams with him. Relatives are even worse than mine, but the barbarian is still equally married his secretary and had a fight, left the family business and opened its furniture production. Now I have sold an apartment in a clubhouse and I bought a cottage closer to my place of work here. Gathers us. Wow, admire this. He has such love that he is against the family. Yes, he really loves his wife because and I bet that this happens. They are about. The wedding was announced in the club when no one was drunk and did not take seriously, and now the story. Gordia and Lotta can be learned from the book. A very good assistant to a very bad boss's story. Turban interrupts the call phone and he brings the device to the kitchen. Hello, get normal, and you have what? The truth is silent, listens. I'm shocked, but we don't fly to the island again. Listening. Sniff at me that I don't understand because I can't stand it when they talk for steering wheel and generally distract themselves from the road. I'll dictate numbers to you, write it down, asks me. I have to unfasten the belt safety to turn around and to take her phone out of her bag on purpose. I threw it away. We thought we will talk and did not want to. Something distracted me from the inflection through the I barely stretch my back. They pull the big one and slap back up inside, and then a loud bang carries the car. The brakes are flying forward right into the glass of the turbines, curses at the blow, and everything is at the stars flash before my eyes, and then it gets dark and something hot tickles. I lick my lips. No salty. I can't stand blood. I'm on this. I pass out and fall into fainting. I come to my senses in a stranger bed. Mattress is somehow too comfortable. The bed itself, Shirochenko, perfectly ironed as in hotels. Sometimes I look around the room. Unfamiliar windows with heavy curtains, and how much time now I remember to understand what happened, and I understand that this is not hospital but where I try to sit, but my head is spinning. I just lift on elbow and immediately from the chair that is in the corner. Turban jumps up as I don't immediately. Marina UF noted, thank God she woke up. And why did I sleep? I ask, wheezing. First I lost consciousness, and when I came, I immediately fell into hysteria, so shocked. You manifested yourself, you wept and wanted to run somewhere away from cars, so doctors injected you sedative. I don't remember anything like that. Maybe so. And it was, but I'm not a bit ashamed of it. He is guilty of driving the VS and driving. Talking, eyes filled with tears. I feel that I am ready to fall into hysterics, that I ask, trembling voice, and Turban quickly walks towards me, sits down next to him and presses him to his chest. Nothing, Marish, it's not even a big deal, not even. There is no concussion, only a small bruise. Two, that is, in the eyes. Well, you know how. There is a symptom of glasses called I start to sob and then laugh wildly. I wanted to sit at home in quiet evenings. Dreamed of Lop and Marinka with a spoonful of you. Such a beauty is definitely now from everyone. They will hide, oh I can't well, so. It's funny, I definitely have a turbine hysteria. Tears me away from him, lays me on a pillow, whispers something affectionate I don't. I especially disassemble and reach for the bedside table for water, brings to the mom a cup of such a what weak people give me to drink. Covers you with opposite emotions. Could have killed us, you know, we could have killed us. Crash, what would have happened to Anya with the baby? What would they live on? God, I hate you. Shouted in the palm of their hands because I felt that now tears will sprout from my eyes. Marish, I know the voice of the turbine is filled with guilt. I myself. I was so frightened even. Imagine, do you want me to swear to you that I will never do this again, or do you want to? Let's call the bastard right tomorrow and we will write a will where to your sister. We'll get all my money if anything, well. Or I don't know what, tell me what to do. To make amends I am ready for anything. Just so that you don't get angry, he presses you again. She strokes me feverishly. And of course I don't feel for him. For some reason, I can't hate. But it's so easy to forgive and I can't calm down either. Chapter 20. Pole when it falls into my hands. The mirror of horror is swollen and dark circles under the eyes are not a sight for faint of heart. I have no idea how Daniela had enough strength to sit next to me and talk without laughing. What is he? After all, I also sympathized and frowned. I can't help smiling. I look stupidly. Next time you need to give it to Turban is do like a real man. After all, well done, knows how to keep emotions under control. Marinka flies into the room. Sister, she's worried and confused. He looks at me in horror, but when he sees that I didn't bandaged and then laugh on me, it starts like this, only you could get into an accident. She pokes at my face and laughs. Imagine, no fractures, no concussion, only hit her nose and I got these bruises. Here they give turbines. He says, it seems to be angry, but somehow as if the sister is completely detached in spite of the fun, behaves in a strange way. Laughs louder and as if unnaturally. As if a smile is squeezed out of ourselves. Anya is quite close to me, every shift of her. I catch the mood, so I immediately I ask something happened. She starts. Nervousness, freezes on the floor and biting his lip. Takes. Don't say a word to me, always like this. Withdraws into himself and is silent and begins to speak when your head wants. Pampering sister, frowning, nothing. I was seriously worried about you. She was worried. Of course I don't believe with me because it's really okay. The only thing that threatens me to burn out is shame if someone sees me. Turbans. Really? And run to your room, lock yourself there and don't come out until those horrific bruises. They will pass. You will need to ask the turbine. Did the doctors tell him how long they will adorn me? This, by the way, is his. Vina will now know how to drive for steering wheel and talking on the phone. At the same time Anya sits with me. Talk for a while about how to be further. I say mostly I like. If he agrees and shakes if he thinks my idea is not very good. I am like that. Upset several times in my life. I saw the last ones when she and her father. The child did not work out now, but not. She could see him again, however. I won't upset you without asking questions. That not fun pregnant decision is not from. I curtail the conversation by saying that I'm tired. I really want my sister a little rested, maybe, and pra when she I found out about the accident of the armed forces. We are without parents. Remained because of the accident and I myself. Danila claims that she threw a tantrum and now I don't even remember it. It's a shock case. A serious one. Will have to ask the turbine. So that I would take Anya to the hospital in. I won't show my nose from here in the near future, Anya. Leaving and I'm really going to sleep, but my solitude is disturbed by Danila. He literally bursts into the room and he says it's not my fault that it's not right away. I understand what he is responsible for in the accident. The other driver is like frowning news. Of course it's good, but I don't get rid of it. Cold not hot, I'm with these panda eyes. I'll walk for a while longer and pull. And we can contact the doctor, ask. Some kind of ointment. Well, it's horror and horror. Daniel agrees. Here is the fur. We came with him. They analyzed the video from my receptionist. He wanted to talk to you. And I let him in because of the bruises. That's the one. The guy we met in a restaurant. With a girl. Yes, he just now literally left. By the way, Daniel, I fall silent. That I have come to tell you about my innocence is yes, but I wanted to ask. Your sister knows Max or something? Max, well, with the fur that I came to them. I found them talking about something in the yard and then Anya ran away. I have no idea, I say. Frowning, and you didn't ask your friend? He said he just liked it. They started talking. They said he wanted to take a number. Strange friends you have for a pregnant woman. A girl to roll up, and if she doesn't free, so I was surprised by the fur. In fact, he doesn't want children, and serious ones. Relationships are not for him, so tell him that Atani stayed away was not enough. Another major, who did not, is going to start a relationship at all. Some strange men fell for it alone. Does not want to marry another relationship. This is the time like this, or have the girls become too much? Are also available in representatives of the male floor. Simply does not need to be cared for. Women themselves go into the hands of the. It is noticeable that he is behind a girl in life did not take care of though the cup with. By the way, about him. Water I want to report, and do the most plaintive. The view that Danila is capable of now. Repeats everything exactly as he did in last time. He helps me drink and looks at me warmly and tenderly. I smile against my will, but we are distracted. A soft knock on the door came. Servant Danila Romanovich, as you and asked for dinner. The woman and pushes a gurney into the room. I could. She nods at me, but Turban sends her away. I myself am still trying to understand what exactly he is. He is going to make turbines himself. Hands plate with spoon and says open mouth. Marina will feed you that myself. Chapter 20. The 7th is actually so sick for me. I liked it. Danila was shaking over me like over jewels, and dust particles blew so that I don't hesitate to leave. Rooms brought me such cool dark glasses of such a company and such beauty that I have never even dreamed of such a thing for the sake of to wear them in the autumn cloudy days on legal grounds. I am even ready was to love her bruises and walk with until the sunny spring, but unfortunately miracles do not happen, and after 10 days there was no trace of the accident on my face. But there are many pleasant and warm moments. For example, Danilo not immediately let me go to his room. 3 days kept at his place, and at this time we have a lot of communicated, recognized each other. Now I was no longer afraid to meet his friends and relatives because really felt like his bride. We know more about each other than Turban and I. So to the trip to the anniversary, which suddenly Danya's friend turned into a wedding. Nicknamed Sensei suddenly decided Marry the organizer of your. I was completely ready for the celebration. I was only worried about Anya. We will have to. Again to go out of town for 3 days she is in. For the last 2 weeks, she has been walking on her own and go somewhere for a short time. The speaking in silence disappears but I suspect that she has depression, I know that. There is postpartum but it can also be. There is a prenatal one or it is called psychosis. Marish, what are you thinking about again with? With such a frown, he asks me. Danila, the day before the trip, listen to me. It seems that Anya feels bad and I'm afraid to leave her. I confess alone as it is and look at him. Guilty, I'm really close to. Refuse to go. Well, why is she? Is silent and you didn't say what you didn't say before. I'll go and call Moiseed Mitrovic. He quickly determine whether there is a problem or not. Who is the chief doctor of the clinic? Where are you? The certificate was also taken by the only specialist. Which I trust 100%. Thank you. Huge tribute, you can't imagine how I am. I am grateful to you. I put my hand to my heart. It seems to me that the almighty Anya is the turbine. I don't have one in the whole world. One throws Daniel displeased and leaves. Applying the Kohulefon of the World Cup. It is he hard on. A moment freezes, hints that I have him. How I would like to get an explanation. But when Turban returns, it turns out that in an hour they are waiting for us at the clinic, so I need to urgently collect my sister from me. There is absolutely no time to find out that I meant by mine not only Anya. To convince them to go to the doctors and I spend on. It's a lot of time. Why do I feel good about it? My sister resists as soon as I stutter about Aunt's trip. Think for yourself how I can leave you for 3 days and work as a fake bride calmly. You can still 2 weeks before the birth. That's exactly. Term is long and the time is not enough, please. And, in general, as soon as without begging her and I put pressure on Pity and even threaten that I will violate the contract with Turbine C because of it. Grief in half, and they are convinced and come with me. We go to the clinic by car with a driver. She even more than the one on which we got into accident. I climb on and listen to myself amazingly, but I'm not afraid to go. Why? I have no idea. Maybe I should have specialists along with. It is not clear why I have to pass Anya. Phobia disappeared, maybe because Danila sitting next to me and holding my hand in clinic. We are greeted as honorable. Anya's guests are taken away and we with Turban stay together in a cozy room, waiting where there is no one but us, but on coffee face, tea, teapot, 2 hands, mugs and a bowl of cookies. Marin, I'm here. I think can't such a state of your Anya to be associated with for suddenly. Danila asks me to. Throws it up and comes to us to dig into the crashed car every day, although he could take her to his fancy garage. He loves his garage and never works at home. This is his hobby and not way to make money. I think I decided to change my habits. How can this be related? I clarify. Because I don't understand yet what he is for. Hints, I don't believe that his friend is rich and my pregnant sister faced in yard of the house and fell in love. It doesn't happen. Yes. I shrug my shoulders without a clue. Danila. I just assumed maybe they used to be. Fur is still familiar with the hotel chain. Perfect. You never know what perfect about God about. Not there before maternity leave. I already had. Everything inside gets cold when the puzzle. And what if, oh, let it be only. I'll come back and arrange it like this. I jump up with chair and start rushing around the room. I shake a little. I can't understand why she was so angry with her sister. And what exactly will I arrange for her? No, well, if she got pregnant from this fur, then she is a goat. How can you condemn a child to poverty? When his father is an oligarch, however, his own. I have to reproach and ask my sister. Put in the room is great. Bearded man in medical suit. The same glavet and reports that they decided to put in their super comfortable hospital for preparation. 2. The head of the clan. In we must be at the wedding marina. Daniel reports, I understand your excitement for my sister, but we can't cancel there. You will get to know everyone, your friends will be convinced of that we have love. The main thing is Varn, it should be. Understand and return the bottle to me for the wedding. I frown to leave my sister in the hospital without support is scary, especially when it is some kind of thoughtful, upset all in the Daniel, realizing that I did not succumb to persuasion, continues here chic. Clinic, experienced doctors, we will be in touch. With a doctor you can at any time call him, not a cart TB. Yes, and then we are not leaving for a month, we will be able to back if needed. Me first. I'll talk to my sister, I'm putting off the hard stuff decision for later and push the door to the ward where posted Anya. Here really everything is at the highest level. Prostania. Bright room with stylish blinds on the windows with a large bed in the very center. Plasma on the wall and a large cabinet for clothes. It's cool here. Yes, says Anya. Stands. I should go into the ward. Yes, it would be beautiful. We would not allowed. Toby really took care of so that Anya does not need M at all. After all, he needs me to accompany to the wedding, so he is trying. Don't even think about staying, warns Anya. The doctor said that it was still before the birth. A few weeks, and here I feel better. To lie down to gain strength to resemble. Breathing classes, yes, and nutrition will not hurt to normalize. To make it easier. Nature seems to be importation, the eyes do not seem to glow, but other. Daniel and Maxie decide not to ask now. I don't want to spoil her mood in front of her childbirth. If she wants, she will share. Besides, all this can only be our turbine guesses. You never know why this Maxim comes to fix the car. Maybe he doesn't have room in the garage. A friend. It's uncomfortable to refuse. I calm myself down with this and I help to lay out the things that I brought. The driver is surprised at the foresight. Daniela, while we were talking here with his sister, he ordered the servants to collect. We had the necessary things to bring. The bag of the newborn was collected and pregnant, but it turns out that there is nothing here. You don't even need clothes for the child. That's what service means when you talk to. I end with my sister. I go out into the corridor. Daniela immediately gets up from his chair. In the corridor and coming to me, I thought that he did not wait for me and left, ordering, wait for me, your driver, but no. Standing in front of me, smiling and looking at me. Hope that he really thought that I'll stay and won't listen to him. The contract will not resemble. I decide to get on his nerves a little and do the most thoughtful face. I approach. I can't solemnly say to Daniela, I need my sister, everything is so bad. Frowns, I talk to the doctor, everything should to be in order. The health of Anya and her child. Nothing threatens, or you are talking about something else. You're worried and you asked for fur on me. The question pours in one after another. I manage to do it. Only open the mouth but never. I insert nothing sensible. Don't be silent. Forcing me to quit. I actually thought that Daniela is now a contract in my nose. Sealed with his pens, and he frowns as if really thinks about what I am. You can leave me with my sister, and I'm worried. I shake my head and blink several times, and then I say I joked that I was joking. Let's go, everything is fine, okay, counted. Says unexpectedly I kept silent about Agatha. You played a prank on me and your sister, it turns out. There are no problems and we can rest easy. Yes, we can go, Anya is happy with everything here. Very good, thank you, Dan. Truth. Thank you, we were preparing for another one. It is spelled out in the contract, resembles a turbine. And I nod, really, why would I? I decided that he was doing it out of kindness. Soulful from the clinic we go straight home. It's good that there is a servant in the turbine house. By the time we get along the clogged streets already. It's time to go to the holiday home, which booked by a certain Arseny sensei. Arbatov, the hero of the day, and my fiancé, panicked over about the fact that I didn't have time to get ready. Danilo stops as they roll out my suitcase. It turns out that everything has already been packed and I only need to bring my hair to order, which I do in a hurry, really. It would be nice to put on makeup, but for this there is absolutely no time, and Danya claims that it is better for me to come without cosmetics so his friends will believe in relationships will be painted faster tomorrow. Hired a makeup artist, he will arrive in the morning, I will already, and I learned a little myself, but if for holiday this will be done by a specialist, then I only for in the car we get in through. Half an hour after arrival, the road is again, and I understand that I am absolutely not afraid of my. It's scary to go with Turban, although in an accident we have already hit, for some reason I am sure that he remembers this and for the second time will allow such an incident to occur. On the way we talk about everything. Daniel asks control questions to which I easily answer. I used to think that I have a bad memory, but all that Turban I was told I remember very well. Yes, and he. It should be noted that he is also. It was really possible to invent everything. No one would check me in which. Once I think about why does he need information about me, but I write off the VS for the meticulousness of the VKI. Although occasionally he does some garbage like. This is the loss of the family. Relics chapter VA. When we arrive, we are greeted as distinguished guests despite the fact that the celebration has not yet begun to us. The heroes of the occasion Arseny come out. Arbatov, aka Sensei, and his future super is also man. Taste. And a short top a sense in sports. Suit like this, you can't immediately say that tomorrow is the most important event for these two. In their life, wedding like health. Vika asks, addressing me as a sense. I told me about the accident, I have been telling him since then. I force you not to exceed and watch for. Darling, we were waiting for you then, and how Danilo? I called, everyone was upset and panicked. What is not ti? Then 2 bruises under the eyes. If Danilo let you into me, I would not have let him. That she did not forgive. Vika begins to laugh and gripping Sensei's hand tighter, he nods to the door of the house, allowing us to enter first. The next thing we encounter is Gord and Lotta. Vani girl smiles and immediately. And here is Gordy. He is the one who should be looking intently. Return the bottle to Danila, therefore, it is not at all. I am surprised at the way he looks at me. And suspiciously for sure. And Danilai says something about me, but I don't. I hear as Lotta takes me a little into the side and introduce the rest after. We all go to the table, friends at Danila, frankly speaking, for the usual. Amazing people, one another. Richer but behave like ordinary guys. Noisy and jokes they have one below. Belts for dinner in the large dining room. 30 people are going to. I'm a little lost. From the crowd. As if they knew me for years. Of course, I knew all of them. Presented, but I remembered only a few. Good that most of them will come tomorrow to the celebration. Maybe I will have time Get used to it, otherwise I feel wild and. From here the uncertain wanted to laugh. To market, but he did not come, he said that. Tomorrow he will come to the painting, he tells me. Daniela, sitting down at the table next to him. Overfishing delayed. SPM. Yes, he explained to me earlier that Sensei Arbatov has been obsessed with victories and achievements, therefore, initially he planned to bring all the guests to the personal an island in the Pacific Ocean where they a week to surprise for this he hired petite blonde Victoria, who right now it is glowing with happiness in the head of the table by the organizer of the celebration and somewhere on the island the plan turned into the other side and now the anniversary merged with SVA. Ost was cancelled altogether. I am very happy about this. By the way, this is how I would now. Flew somewhere beyond 9 lands and left my sister alone, but in general, what is the fur for? Table no very suspicious of me. Again I am overcome by doubts. I already regret that I didn't ask my sister about anything, you know. Now I'll call Anya and check how she is doing. I say turbine dasta VDG, she s and na. Procedures. And just right, but I have to postpone because our couple, honoring girls from Daniela's company a little earlier. Lotta introduced them to me. 3 of them are elegant, beautiful, and everything seems to be a classic redhead. Hell, and blonde Lika is a good friend, a brunette Nastia. Lotta's sister Nastia was. It is easiest to remember because it is the E. We met the girls in the restaurant with laughter. Look at me curiously and for said you will get married. Says hell, tell me how it is. It turned out Capettes, of course, when only they have an epidemic similar to the redheads. Lika, she has big plump lips and in general it's all a little too bulging. Listen, Danya, and what should be done to also do this? I would not get infected with a wedding disease. Refuse to let the barbarian give me back my bet when she says it. I have. One gets the impression that the companies all a little strange, at least in they all have a clear craving for losing things which they would like to return or not understand the propensity of the rich to gamble. Face won't help, I asked the barbarian. Bit the furs, but it only got worse. Evil, says Nastia, and I understand that the mood. She doesn't have a festive girl at all, clearly. In upset feelings you get. We have already met, and I have a lot to imagine. We met, I saw how Lotta and I stood next to this trio from Nastia. Stay away. KHMYZ Kataya, the rest of the norm, although Lika. She stuck to our company through a friend. Otherwise, we would not have known about it. The girls laugh and even Nastia does not. She is offended by such a characterization. Smiling with only lips and her eyes. Sad, it is clear that the thoughts of the girl arrives far away, and my brain begins to assemble the puzzle and think about the available. For had dinner with Nastia, for met Anya, and with Nastia, everything became bad for them. Anya in hospital, and we left. There is no fur in the house. Rest, so he can be next to Anya. And if she will get worse, I checked the phone. But there is no answer to my message. I am nervous. I really want to call my sister, but the girls are in no hurry to lag behind us as you are. Met Turbo, you said that you will never get married. Oh, I also remember him stating that a surrogate mother will give birth to a child for him. After 10 they torture the girls. Have to take. Pull yourself together and act out, love. We met, yes, you know how I came to Danila Romanovich to get a job. Fell in love, it's so simple. Spark flared up and pierced both hearts, and when there was an accident, Turbin realized that he could not. You can't lose me and drag me out of the wedding. Pregnant, but know that you have children, yes. We are planning, but in a pa the wedding is magnificent. We won't do it, we don't want to do it in a year. And throw a feast for the whole world in general. Everything in a similar spirit and answers in a similar way. Mainly Daniel, I am often distracted by my thoughts and lose the thread of the conversation in the end I can't stand it, I apologize. They pick up the nose in the toilet, I dial Anya. And she doesn't pick up the phone, then I dial. Fasting and pounce. Marina calms me down. Kind woman. Anya went for a walk in the park and I just forgot the phone in the ward. I heard the ringtone when I was passing. As soon as she comes back I'll ask her to call you. Thank you very much. Thank you with relief and go out. In the corridor, a gloomy marine turbine is waiting for me. Well, what is happening is very important. Event, we agreed quietly. Reproaches, I did not think that it would be like this. It is difficult to depict a bride like this, like caught out of the corner, comes out very satisfied. Red hell, I knew you were muty. Coley Turbo hired Marina to give his losing back my shock because of him. I am speechless, my tongue sticks to the NBU. The only thing I can do is cling to Danya and snuggle up to him with all the trembling body. Did I really ruin everything, God? It's a shame. As chapter 30th. I shake all over my body while Danila. In the World Cup it never happened to laugh and say hell. Such a vile thought was to lose. I did not love, but he het Marina appeared in my life before I had time to embody this idea in life, so Danila breathes with his hands and then one of them wraps his arms around me shoulders and presses him to me. I hug him in the answer, are you nego tali ikonam v? I smashed it badly and I remember that Danila spoke in unforeseen circumstances. Be sure to portray a loving and attentively. This is exactly what I depict. And also passionate, because hell says, well, you give right in the corridor to such. So there is no need to walk around corridors. One parries turbines and hugs me completely, hiding me from hell. Okay, doves, I'll go as soon as hell. Danila leaves and drags me into one of the rooms. Here are absolutely empty and non-existent. No one who could overhear us like you. Do you think she heard? I ask. How? Only he slams the door shut. No idea. I have hell secretive on the face. Nothing you will read, but if you have heard, it's not a fact that he will begin to tell us sooner. To look closely, I nervously ask what? Do relax. Shrugs. Daniel, be yourself, these days will fly by like one moment. It is easy to say to be himself. In the oddly from me they no longer know to him. And they will evaluate me. I can't lose face. That contract is a heavy burden on me. The most where the penalties are spelled out and in general, everything is not very rosy. If I am a prova mission today, it was close to failure. Not through my fault, of course. It is Danilo. With the language, everything that comes to his mind in completely unsuitable for this places. No one to whom we will pay attention are left to themselves, so that they do not worry. We'll have fun, just don't leave me alone for a long time. I'm lost. When someone tries to get to the bottom of the truth is a liar out of me. SOSO. Although next to Danila I'm doing well. I often lie perfectly and I don't blush even before hell. She was able to get out of it, although by playing a fake. Unexpectedly, I like the turbine there at the neck. He smells very delicious. His hugs are like this strong that I am not afraid to take refuge in them. I will be there, Danila promises, after which we return to the table. To my surprise, no one bothers us girls anymore. Guys are busy gossiping among themselves, joke loudly and drink a little in general. Dinner ends in an entertaining way. At 11 we would probably be side. AVM. Wedding, which means it's time to go our separate ways. Get a good night's sleep and get ready for table tomorrow. Everything is slightly disappointed because in the morning there are people. We'll add and sit with your company already. If it doesn't work out, we will part ways for a long time. We stand for a while saying goodbye on the street. I'm noble. Freeze and drag me along. No one who does not care what we are. We leave. He said that we play a bad role. If we had continued to stand, you would have. Stiff from the cold is for a long time good. If before 12 they will disperse, and where are we? I ask, noticing that we separate from the house in which they dined farther and farther into there. The house of all Sensei's friends is special privileges. He did not give them rooms in townhouse on the other side and small. Our houses are number 13. Oh, and here it is. Turban drags me to the house, opens the door, lets the first self inside with the key. I put my hand back and try to feel. Switch to look around, but prompts. I immediately remove my hand about the fact that where exactly did I touch, even think? I don't want a leg. Of course it was a leg. Turban flips the switch of the house itself. Illuminates the self with a warm light in the first seconds. I wince and then I look at it with interest. There is nothing unusual here. Wide bed, soft carpet in the center, small table and high cabinet. There is also plasma on the wall, but not sure what we will have time to watch something. Personally, I somehow too tired for today and I just fall off my feet so that I don't embarrassment. Danila lets me go to the first bathroom, and as soon as I go out, he goes. I quickly change my clothes and I climb under the blanket, pulling it up to of the chin itself. We will sleep. I can fall asleep, but it doesn't work. Truth. When the turbine comes out of the bathroom, I do the look that I fell asleep definitely before me. Java. He turns off the light, climbs on bed and hugs me unceremoniously. Puts his hand on my waist and pulls me to. That's why he asks this. Does if in a dream I still understood here. So with a bright memory they can't. You definitely can't shoot here. Can.